Well, hello, my people. Missed me? I missed you guys. But yeah, I had fun, and I'm still sort of doing the vacationing thing. Well, I'm actually working really, really hard. I'm working on something, well, two things, and I need to work extra, extra hard to get it done so that I can have, free time to do this more. Um, but so in that regard, this is the August 2025 scope, the planetary alignments, aspects, and degrees. If you'd like to take a screenshot, the first week there's not really anything major happening. So that's through the 8th. The 9th through the 15th is when it really starts picking up. And then the 16th through the 23rd, it's picking up even more. And then the 24th through the end of the month. And that's going to be preparing us for the comeback of eclipses and remember what I told you about the long kiss farewell back in March or February. It was the planets are retrograding all back into their original signs, but I'll talk about that in the September scope. But yeah, I'm only going to be touching really on major aspects, which is we're starting off here as Mars entering Libra, and that'll go through I think September something. But Mars is the ruler of Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It's opposite Libra. Libra is an air sign. So Mars really doesn't like being in Libra as much. Mars is what you want to get. And it would be in your Libra themed house. And we have one of the major aspects that I wanted to talk about was the Mars in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries. Um, Very classic opposition here. And I'll talk about that for each sign. There goes my pug. But yeah, that is one of the major aspects we'll talk about. Then the full moon in Aquarius, um, which started out back in January, so that's a major culmination. Um, and also Mars opposing Neptune. Um, and then the other one is on the 11th, Mercury in Leo stationing direct. However, it will still be in shadow for most of the month. It doesn't really leave its shadow until the end of the month. And I spoke about the opposition between Mars and Saturn. That would be the bad or the ugly, and the good. Major aspect here is Venus conjuncting Jupiter in Cancer. Big deal here, especially for Gemini. Money, money, money. um, and then the last quarter moon I'll touch on in Taurus. So the beginning of the end regarding your Taurus related house. Um, and then the sun entering Virgo. So all your Virgo related houses will be activated on the 22nd. And right after, set your intentions, new moon in Virgo. So for the next 6 months, the opportunities, collaborations, and such will take shape with this new moon in Virgo. It's an important new moon in Virgo here. So, pay attention to that day, what you're doing, or those few days when you see the new moon, look up in the sky and make your wish. And then on the next day, we do have the sun in Virgo squaring Uranus in Gemini. This is sort of a big deal as well. And then we have a first quarter moon in Sagittarius. Again, setting your intentions on there. Venus will exit Cancer and enter Leo. So that'll be good too for your Leo related house. And then we have a sextile, which, sextiles are soft aspects, or trines rather, and sextiles are acceptable, pleasing aspects that we may not feel, but since it's Uranus, um, it may be significant for some. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then last day is Mercury trining Chiron. Chiron is retrograde. Again, very soft aspect, and you may not feel it. So yeah, really the main focus is this opposition. It's pretty heavy duty. Mars is go, go, go. Saturn is wait, wait, wait. And you're stuck in the middle. And what do you do? It's that saying like, hurry up and wait. At the full moon, I'll discuss that. And the Venus conjunct Jupiter. The last quarter moon in Taurus. And everything Virgo related as far as the sun and the new moon. And that's about it. Those 3-4 aspects that I will be talking about for each sign Not a really heavy duty focused month, and especially the first week, nothing really major, but it's mid month to the end of the month. And really, the main one is this opposition between Mars and Saturn. So I'm just going to get straight into each sign. Okay. Hi, Aries. Hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, as I said in the intro, I've sort of, yeah, I sort of took like a vacation, but it was a small vacation. I'm still working really really hard. I'm working on one or two major things for myself, so it can free me up, so I can do this more often than once a month. So excuse my absence, but as I said in the intro as well, nothing really happening. Major, nothing really major happening the first week, except we just had Mars enter Libra, your opposite sign, your seventh house of partners. So you will be interacting, or your partners will be interacting more forcibly with you. It is the energy that's coming at you, but Mars is your ruler, so Mars is always looking out for you. So this collaboration can be good. It can be beneficial. It can light the fire under your partners to come on board with your decisions or your ideas, and so forth. So yeah, just and remember, partners are mirrors. So just look to your partners to see what they are doing, what they are saying, feeling, because they are really reflecting back to you how you feel inside. So this is a big deal, even though your ruler does not like being in Libra, but your ruler is and will always look out for you. So this will benefit you in as far as partners are concerned. Now, the major aspect that I want to talk about is here on the 8th. It starts here on the 8th. It can go on for a few days too. Mars in your opposite sign will oppose Saturn in your sign. So this is sort of a double whammy, even though, like I said, Mars is your ruler and looking out for you. So it will bring partners on board. Um, but in the same sense, it is partners looking out for you can also, the friction can also be good. So this opposition is basically um, your partners relaying back to you what they see, any maybe shortfalls or delays in as far as Saturn has been in your sign. Now, Saturn being in your sign, it is all about your profile, your image, your physical appearance, um, and how you come off. And Saturn is slowing you down in as far as physical appearance, or what you're trying to change here with your physical appearance. And if Saturn is slowing you down for some specific reason, um, Mars in Libra can manifest in and I've said oppositions can be good. So it can manifest in your partner saying, well, you said that you were going to go on this regime, or you were going to do this haircut or whatever. What's stopping you? Why are you stopping? You should go. Let's go. I'll support you. It can work out like that. Or if you have made changes and your partners are relaying back to you like, okay, you're going overboard, or um, that plastic surgery, I don't think it's in your best interest. It can be your doctors. It can play out in many ways, but that opposition that you're going to be experiencing, pay attention to it, because both sides, it's a little hard because you're stuck in the middle, because both sides are working in your best interests. Saturn is slowing you down and putting these obstacles for you to go around or surmount, as well as um, Mars, your partners, whatever oppositions they have, um, and you're getting both sides of the story here, and for you to make a better decision. So try to think of it in that sense. Try to think of it as being beneficial for you, to have all the information. Now, this can also manifest. Oh, here comes the roadster. This can also manifest in some of you may be new moms, or going to be new moms or new dads or whatever, and oppositions like this can manifest in that, where it's like your partners are maybe supporting you in that aspect, or you them, and then Saturn is slowing you down and saying, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that, take extra care of yourself, and all that. So it can be in that sense, like a tense aspect in that sense. um, but it's not like a volatile opposition. As in Mars versus Pluto. This is Saturn, and Saturn is the teacher. Saturn actually is very, very beneficial. He helps build these foundations, strong foundations. And again, like I said, Mars is your ruler. Even though it is in your partnership house, it will always look out for your best interest. So I don't see this as a negative at all, unless you have something malefic in your natal chart. Now, going on to the ninth, the full moon in Aquarius. This is all about your um, groups, friends, associations, memberships of any kind, rallies, groups like that, but also your hopes, wishes, and dreams of what you envision yourself for yourself, um, and how you want to be seen amongst these people. And you had a new moon here, so a new opportunity or a new desire back in January in Aquarius, and you've been working that opportunity or opportunities that come up or situations where now it is culminating in this full moon. So either a culmination, a fruition, or an ending of some kind that you've worked at, valued, and are now milking it for what it is. Uh, so, um, so yeah, now look at 16 degrees, 59 minutes for anything in your natal chart. Uh, Mars in Libra, trining Pluto in Aquarius. Again, I'm doing major aspects. Trine is a very soft aspect. You may not even feel this, but this is regarding your partnerships and your friends and groups. Now, Mercury does station direct in Leo, so Leo is a big deal sort of for you because it is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. So you've been working, speaking, um, talking, texting about those things, and maybe one or two um, issues or strategies has either gotten stuck or has been retracted, or going back to the drawing board for a couple of times before. And now with Mercury going to direct, you'll see the third and final collaboration or thought about this. However, it still is in shadow until the end of the month. So e- even if, like, in this week, next week, you think you have a final answer, I just would advise that it's still in shadow. It still can change towards the end of the month. Okay. Now, the big deal, or the good, very great aspect in August is Venus conjuncting Jupiter in Cancer. And again, depending on your natal chart, this can be huge, a huge win, or it can be something um, beneficial, but not as huge. Everyone will benefit from this. Venus attracts love, money, fortune, and fame, and Jupiter expands everything. And usually, Jupiter is the jolly green giant, everything good. And Cancer, for you, Aries, is your fourth house of home, family, your parents, your country, your pride, um, your physical living space. And many of you are wanting to move or purchase a home or expand your current place, physical living place, or it may have to do with your parents. But something very beneficial and very big is happening in regards to your fourth house here. And when I say on the 12th, again, it can be on the 11th, it can be on the 15th or the 18th. Um, but this is a very nice beneficial aspect, and for you, it is in regards to home and family. So yeah, I'm excited for you. Take full advantage of it. You deserve it. You've had some constraints with home and family or parents. All right, and then we do have the last quarter moon in Taurus, and Taurus is important to you as well because it is your second house of job, income, and your value system. Um, and for many of you, you are in new fields or a new job, or you're thinking about a new job or a new opportunity that popped up recently. Um, it may be a promotion of some kind, or you may be thinking about leaving your current position. But it is about your second house. And this is the last quarter moon signals the beginning of the end. So there's an ending here. And again, it can be an ending or a culmination or a fruition. But here on the last quarter moon, it signals the beginning of the end, definitely. And the ending will be wrapped up with Uranus um, turning retrograde in Gemini. Right now, it's in Gemini, and it will back up all the way back into Taurus in the fall. So pay attention also to this because this will signal something about that Uranus going back into Taurus for whatever unfinished business there is. Okay. And then the sun on the 22nd will enter Virgo, and we have a new moon in Virgo the very next day. This is important this year. Well, I'm going to say a new moon in Virgo and the sun in Virgo is always important every year because it really sets it's the middle of the year and it sets the intention until the next new Virgo moon. Even though new Virgo moon is a 6 month deal where you get the culmination or fruition, but it really extends to a full year. So Virgo is your sixth house of health, habits, routines, scheduling, any rituals, small animals, pets, taking care of someone. It's the house of busyness and gossip as well. So all the dark crevices will be lit up in your sixth house uh, with the sun entering that. And then make a wish if when you see the new moon in Virgo. Make a strong wish for whatever you want to achieve because Virgo moons are pretty powerful. Um, and on the same day, I'll talk about this because this affects you. Is Venus in Cancer, so that's your fourth house, trying to beautify something here, attract something here. Um, there'll be a crinkle, this square, this hard aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer, in your sign, Aries. Chiron in your sign is something about your image or your profile or your physical appearance that has a past hurt. You've been wounded in the past about it, and Chiron has been spending this time in your sign, bringing that up for you to deal with and for you to figure out what it is that wounds you about your physical appearance or what you think wounds you. And Chiron is retrograde here, so it's not as strong that, but it's still there. And this will trigger something with your home and family. This wound, this hurt you have about your profile, your physical appearance, um, and it has something to do with your home and family, or maybe your parents, and it's triggering that. So, yeah, the 23rd is packed with that new moon and this square from Chiron. So make a wish and try to face any wounds or hurts because it with your home and family because it's reporting back to that. Now the 24th is Sun in Virgo, again your sixth house of routines, is going to have a hard aspect with Uranus in Gemini, your third house of siblings, neighborhood, neighbors, social media, cars, um, or communication. So something surprising is going to be revealed here for you in regards to how you go about working these things. Because remember, Virgo sixth house, so it has something to do with work because it's schedules and all that. Um, and on the same day, we have a first quarter moon in Sagittarius. So something about your ninth house of travel, higher education, foreigners, publishing. So sorry about that. So there's something that triggered um, your senses about something new. But this first quarter moon is highlighting again something that you had in the past regarding this, um, maybe an idea or a project. Um, but it will bring your memory back to whatever that conversation was regarding your ninth house. Then on the 25th, Venus entering Leo, uh, your fifth house. A big deal here for you, Aries, because it is your fifth house of love, romance, and children, and creativity or creative projects or pets. So now you're going to get the benefits, the lovely benefits of Venus. It's going to be attracting the niceties here. So you may be making money here through the fifth house, or love or romance or creative things is just going to be off the charts for you starting the 25th. So take full advantage of that. If something comes up, work it, baby, because you have the power of um, a heavyweight planet like Venus. And then, of course, Leo is ruled by the sun. So big deal here, big deal. And that really wraps it up, Aries, because the sextile and trine, again, it's their supportive aspect. Sextile is a supportive aspect. So, again, something about your third house, Gemini, and something about the way you appear or your desire of the way you want to appear, Neptune and Aries. You'll have some kind of a supporting aspect on the 28th. Um, and then with the trine, whatever talk or texting in regards to your third house of communication or commuting or social media that is actually trining the wounded healer in regards to your appearance. So it is all about really about your appearance. There's something you want to change about your appearance, whether it's physically or profile setting or something, but you are really, um, some are concerned, some are ecstatic, some are embarking on this journey regarding the first house. So partners are involved, siblings may be involved, um, and family. So this month really wraps up with that. But the main themes again is that opposition between Mars and Saturn, um, and then the full moon in your friends and groups house, and of course the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter in your home and family house. Some of you may be closing on a house here, or you may be here is where you decide on expanding or moving or something about your parents. And then yeah, the your Virgo related house, you're scheduling your routines, and then it ends with your fifth house of love and romance. So again, as typical for an Aries, you've got a lot going on, but August is really focused on your partnerships, your home and family, a job, um, your romance and love house, and also your communication and commuting. So you've got your hands full, uh, but that's how the month looks for you. All right, Aries, if you have any questions, please throw them in the comments. I will be answering them. Okay, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Hey, hey, hi, Taurus. Taurus, I missed you guys. As I said in the intro, yes, I did have a little vacation, but I am also working really, really super hard, um, OT and all that, because I'm working on one main project and an additional one to free me up so I can do this more than just once a month. So I can offer you guys other stuff. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me with my absence. Um, and August really starts. It doesn't. There's not major things happening in the first week. There's two really major things in August. But I will go through the lineup with you. Um, we just had Mars entering Libra, and that is your sixth house of health habits, routines, daily scheduling, any rituals, small animals, taking care of someone. It is the house of chaos and gossip. So you'll find yourself being very busy with these things for the next few weeks. Um, and Libra, Mars doesn't really like being in Libra because Mars rules Aries. Aries is a fire sign, and Libra is an air sign and very diplomatic and almost takes a long time to make a decision, almost like you. uh, but um, but yeah, you'll see what how this will affect you will be like uh, all of a sudden some you'll have to be at two, three, four different places at the same time, and you're going to have to handle that. There's going to come like this heat and friction with your scheduling and routine. For you parents, works out well with back to school maybe, and with your own job or business or partnerships or family or what have you. But it'll be about your scheduling, your routine that you'll see the heat picking up here. Now, the major, maybe stressful aspect of this month will be on the 8th or around that. Mars in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries. So, again, Libra is your sixth house of scheduling and routine, and Aries is your 12th hidden house, the house of the past, dreams, again, secrets, and things like that. And it's simply your alone time. So it's coming to an opposition, and how this is set up is Saturn and Aries. It's about the appearance, how you appear when you like hide away or do something in secret, or maybe about the past. um, and with your scheduling and routine for you, Taurus, it's been a year long, maybe the past few months, issue about, well, no, it started maybe back in October, November. It's something about your hectic schedule and your need to be alone, or need to take care of yourself. Um, and you do have support, like I've mentioned before, of this close knit community. But it's just the balancing, because Libra, remember, is about a balance. It's the balancing of these two things and the appearance, um, you know, because Aries is the first house of appearances. So it's that issue, and trying to stabilize and balancing your work schedule and routine and your alone time, or something you're working in the background or in secret. So this opposition, again, people, please don't hate oppositions. Oppositions are good because um, it'll it'll distinguish the two, and you'll know what you need to do with your scheduling and routine to have this needed alone time, or to work on this project behind the scenes. Um, and maybe the balance is making known what you are working behind the scenes, which is an oxymoron. But if you're concerned about the image you're portraying about that, that opposition will highlight it. But yeah, this is one of the strong oppositions that'll happen on the 8th, and will highlight what you need to balance here. Mm, Now we have on the next day a full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is your 10th house. Sorry, I drew a blank. Is your 10th house of authority figures, reputation, your status, um, and your career. And you've been working on that. You've had some new opportunities to take advantage of, and you've gotten some. So you have had some progress here in this aspect, but it has slowed down since Pluto has been um, retrograde in Aquarius. We did have a new moon in January in Aquarius, so this is hearkening to that new moon, that new opportunity that you may have started on, and now you are seeing the culmination, the fruition of the effort since January. So look to 16 degrees in your chart to see where else you may be affected. Yeah, but it has to do with your career status, reputation, and authority figures. Something is coming to an end here. And then Mercury will station direct on the 11th in Leo. Leo is your fourth house of home, family, your physical living space, your parents, your country, your pride. Um, and there has been either one or two issues maybe, or things that have been going back and forth regarding this. um, so the texting, the talking, the agreements, the what have you, it may be about moving to a new place or expanding your place, or it might have to do with your parents. But on the 11th, pay attention, uh, day before, during, and after, as whenever planets station direct or retrograde, they highlight what it is about, or how it will um, manifest. Even though Mercury will station direct and start going direct, and Mercury usually is fast, but it's still in shadow until for most of the month, until the end of the month. So whatever you think, like from the 11th towards the end of the month, whatever you think that you will have agreed upon, just still have Plan C and D still in place, because it might change, because it will be still in shadow. So I wanted to mention that. Now the best thing of the year. It happens in August and on the 12th, day before, during, after, a few days after. But it is Venus conjuncting Jupiter in Cancer. Woohoo! This is huge and very, very good. Venus attracts money, love, fortune, fame, all the good things in life. She's very diplomatic and a very powerful planet. Jupiter is the king of kings, the god of gods, small g, the jolly green giant, and it is a beneficial planet, and it loves being in Cancer. So this conjunction is beautiful. Everyone will benefit from this. And for you, it is your third house of communications, commuting, siblings, cousins, extended family, social media. Um, it's your need to be heard, the house of your need to be heard. It's about language. So it can be about all of those things, or one of those things, or a couple of those things. For Torians. Some of you might be getting a new car, some of you might be getting a new communication device, or maybe new neighbors, or what have you. But it will be something big and something very beneficial. You might even attract money through these things. Maybe a communication device will just, you know, ramp up your social media channel if you have that, or it'll work in that way. Or you might find the love of your life in your neighborhood, or your sibling might set you up. Excuse me. Um, so yeah, this is good. Grab it with both hands when the opportunity comes. Check your natal chart for 14 degrees. And then we do have on the 16th, the last quarter moon in your sign, Taurus, which is the beginning of the end. And you will have already known this is happening. You are sensing that it is coming to an ending, and this is in regards to your profile, your appearance, your physical appearance, trinkets, wardrobe, hairstyle, everything, you know, um, or one of the things here. And you've been working on something here, and you will know mid-month that something is going to culminate or come to fruition soon in regards to, yeah, the way you appear, your profile. It can also have to do with money or income, so keep that at the back of your mind, and also pay attention to it because Uranus is currently in Gemini, but it will be retrograding in Gemini, and it'll retrograde all the way back into your sign. Um, and for you, why it's important when it retrogrades back in your sign in the fall, um, like for this past 7 years, with Uranus being in your sign, you've experienced like shocking things about you that you never knew was you were capable of, or surprising things happening to you the way you appear. Um, it could have been, being pregnant, or just trying out um, like radical new, fashions or what have you. But why I'm saying it's important in as far as you're concerned, because you get a second chance. Because some of you didn't like Uranus being in your sign because it turned your world upside down, sort of. But some of you, now that Uranus has moved on from your sign, are like, oh no, I want that. Come back, Uranus, and jolt my world again. So yeah, why I'm saying that is because you're going to get a second chance in the fall when Uranus comes back into your sign to for any unfinished business here. Um, but this last quarter moon is giving you a clue to that. So pay attention to that. Now, the sun will enter Virgo. Remember, I'm only touching on major aspects. Um, sorry. And Virgo is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. So, it's your annual review of this house. The sun will shed a light on all those things and the things that you weren't aware of. Okay. So start paying attention to that. And more significantly is the next day we will have a new moon in Virgo. So there will be a new opportunity, or you will start something new in this fifth house. Some of you might even um, be aware of like being pregnant, or you'll be having this baby, or you'll be setting your intentions on having a baby. For those that are, in, their lives are in that phase. For others, it can be a new love, a new romance. Um, or your current love or romance may take the next step uh, going forward. Okay, so whenever you see that new moon, and these new Virgo new moons are very powerful. It's in the middle of the year, and it sort of breaks up the year. And new moons usually culminate 4 to 6 months down the line, but they reverberate for almost till the next new moon in Virgo. So yeah, and this is good. This is your fifth house. Nice. Um, And I'll also mention the 24th for you, Taurus, because it's your fifth house and it is the sun in your fifth house squaring Uranus and Gemini. Very interesting at 01 degrees, 23 minutes. So Gemini is your 12th hidden house. Um, I'm sorry. Gemini is your second house of job, income, um, and your value system. The second house can also represent a marriage house as well. But with the sun in Virgo, the sun is revealing something about your fifth house, and it's getting a jolt, some kind of a surprising jolt, in regards to your second house of values or your job. You might find a new love at your workplace, or it can be a creative project that just takes a big jolt of Uranian energy and it just flies off. Um, so pay attention to this square. Remember, squares can be good, right? So yeah, that can be interesting for you. And then Venus will enter Leo. Again, Leo is your fourth house of home, family, um, your parents, your physical living space, your country, your clan, your pride. And Venus attracts money, love, fortune, and fame. So you may, for some of you, you may see money coming in through your fourth house, or maybe even your family setting you up with a love interest, because Leo natally rules the fifth house of love and romance. Um, or it might be about a move or an expansion of your house, or it can have to do with your parents, something that's going to be benefiting you very much so in regards um, to your fourth house of home and family. And Venus is a very powerful planet, and she is direct, so this is good. Whatever issues you had back in November, December regarding your fourth house of home and family. And then when we had those Mars Pluto oppositions between Aquarius and Leo, so your 10th house of career status, reputation, and your home and family, whatever that was, those two houses were opposing each other. Here, Venus will be starting to smooth out those oppositions and help both sides see what is in your best interests. So, for the next few weeks, you will have the blessings of Venus in your fourth house of home and family. And remember, Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius, so that opposition is muted. You will have the full benefits of Venus's blessings. And that's basically about it. The sextile and trines are soft aspects. I'm not really concentrating on that. But then September, we get into eclipses and planets all retrograding back. But this is how August scope is playing out for you, Taurus. Um, if you have any questions or if you're confused, please leave a comment. I will answer them. Talk to you soon. Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Missed me? I missed you guys. Yeah, as I said in the intro, I took a little vacation, but I actually have been working super, super hard and working overtime. I'm working on this one project and another side project, um, building this nest egg so I can be freed up, so I can do this more than just once a month and get into other things that I want to do for you guys and offer other things. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm working a lot and barely making these scopes. So please forgive me for that. But hopefully, in the next couple of months, I'll be back to churning out video after video and offering you products. All right, August is very, very important for you, Gemini. Um, we have. I'm only going to be touching on major aspects, and the first week really we don't have much going on, and that's why I didn't really mind it being uploaded this late. But like I've said, your scope will always be uploaded the first week. Um, but there's two major things happening that I will discuss for you, and a couple of other things that you might be concerned about. But one very nice aspect for you. So hang on to your boots. All right, we just had Mars enter Libra, and Libra. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I got a stang in my throat. Okay, Libra is very important to you since it is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. It's the house of gambling, casino gambling, and gambling on life. It's the house of fun, and it is much needed for you, Gemini. You've been busy, 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 busy. Um, but you'll be even more busy now. It's going to pick up. It's Mars. Mars only knows one direction, and it's going forward. It's about go, 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 and get you what you want here. So a lot of heat and friction in regards to your fifth house. If it's about a romance, it's going to pick up rapidly. If you have no romance or you don't have anyone in your life, in the next few weeks, be ready because there'll be maybe even more than a couple of potentials that'll come across. For you parents, it is going to be about children and creativity. For others, it may be creative projects or pets, and simply just having more fun. Okay, um, it's Mars, so yeah, the heat and the action will start. It has started as of yesterday. I'm recording this on the eve of the 7th. On the 7th, so 6th is a day before. But next few weeks, this is what you're going to be concentrating on and you'll be dealing with. Um, the major, like, yucky aspect this month is Mars in Libra, your fifth house, will oppose Saturn in Aries, your 11th house, of groups, friends, associations, memberships of any kinds. And also, it is your hopes, dreams, and visions of your future self and how you want to be seen amongst these people. So there's an opposition, and it is Mars, and it's Saturn. So it is about go, 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 and get you what you want, and it is about Saturn saying, "Whoa, just slow down, hold on. We've got a couple of these issues that have to be solved before you can go on. But hurry up, let's go with Mars." So it's going to be a push pull situation here between your romance house and your friendship house, between your creativity and your friends. Um, and this is a big opposition, maybe not as big as Mars versus Pluto. That's sort of volatile, but it's still a challenge here um, for some of you. Um, and you already probably know what this is about, what this opposition is about. It's been building. For others, it can be meeting someone and then something happens where your groups and friends don't approve or are pointing something out, or it can be you make a friend into a lover, which you're sort of famous at that. Um, uh, Others, you guys like to pick somebody up when they're down, fix them up, and send them on their way. But you know, those kind of people that are down and out, and you help them up like that. If there's any attraction, they may take it the wrong way, and it's just the putting them on their way part that gets you in trouble. So that's the only potential problem I foresee, or you may have. So just again, remember what Pluto has taught you in the last 60 to 18 years is being very clear on what your intentions are. Now, that's for one segment, of course. I discussed the first segment. The other segment, it may be just the natural, your kids are going to school or going off to college, um, and and then this opposition with your hopes, visions, and dreams, or these this memberships or groups that you won't have time for, maybe. So it could be that for some of you, it could be that opposition. For others, it could, because remember, oppositions can also be good. So it could be about pregnancies, and how you're setting up your life, the phase of your life. It's about Aries is about image, but it's also about your hopes and visions. So it can be that kind of opposition about a pregnancy or something like that, um, in a good way. With Mars and action and Saturn and being methodical, it can be that in a good way. And then for a sliver of you, it can be where it sets you back, um, where like, oh, I don't want to be pregnant now, or I can't be pregnant now, or what have you, because it'll set you back or whatever, because it's Saturn, it's about waiting or whatever. So the thing is balancing this, because it's Libra. So sliver of you will be dealing with that. Okay. The next day we do have a full moon in Aquarius. Hey, Aquarius. And that is your ninth house. Is it your ninth house? Yes, it's your ninth house of higher education, um, foreigners, foreign travel, publishing, and the World Wide Web. So you had a new moon back in January in Aquarius, and so there might have been a new opportunity, or you set your intentions on working to have this opportunity, um, and you've had these past few months. Now, on the ninth, with this full moon, it is the culmination of your past efforts. It can be the fruition of your hard work, or it can be an ending in a good way where you've accomplished what you wanted, or just chalking it up to, let me not waste any more time here. So there's something here that's ending or coming to a fruition. All right. Uh, then the other thing is, which is important for you, is your ruler, Mercury, in Leo, um, uh, which is your third house of communication, commuting, siblings, and the neighborhood or social media, will be stationing direct. Uh, So you've had one or two issues, maybe, or obstacles, or disagreements, or something that's been going back and forth in regards to commuting, communication, siblings, or neighbors, or neighborhood, social media. And 11th and on, Mercury will be going direct, your ruler. So you'll have the third pass of this, and you'll be making decisions about it. But I just want, my hesitation is it's because it's still shadow retrograde for most of the month. Mercury doesn't clear its shadow until the end of the month. So whatever you do decide um, on the 11th and forward regarding your third house, just still have backup plans, because it may change. But pay attention to when Mercury is stationing direct, because it gives you a clue of how it'll manifest, or what the real situation is, if you're like clueless to it. All right. And again, I don't really foresee any major problems here, because Mercury is your ruler and will always look out for your best interests. And it is doing so in your third house. Now, here it is. Here's your luckiest day of the year, Gemini. On the 12th, Venus conjuncts Jupiter in Cancer. Woohoo! Oh my God. Do I have any Gemini friends? I don't know if I did. I got to look them up. But this is fantastic for you, Gemini. Um, Cancer is your second house of money, sorry, income, Sorry, I got excited. Job and your value system. Something huge is going to happen here for you, Gemini, in regards to those aspects, to those things, or maybe one of those things. But Venus attracts love, money, fortune, fame, and Jupiter expands everything it touches here. And Cancer being your second house. Now, this is not, this video is for entertainment purposes only. So I am not telling you to gamble or anything like that. So that disclosure out of the way. Hey, a dollar lotto ticket during these few days, 11th, 12th, 13, you know, 13, whatever. Um, you might hit it. It's pretty good, but do not gamble. Um, and think back 12 years ago, you might have had the same luck here. Um, and for others of you, it might be a pay raise, it might be a promotion. For others, you may be meeting the love of your life at your job place, or your value system. Your romance may take the next step up, because the second house can also um, mean a marriage house. It's about your values, um, or it could be someone at your work that takes you under their wing for a very special project, and it attracts money or fame for you. But it is very auspicious. It's Jupiter loves being in Cancer. Venus is powerful. Um, and it's going direct. So this is very, very good for you, Gemini. Um, yeah, I got my Gemini friends. All right. We do have a last quarter moon in Taurus on the 16th. Um, Taurus is your 12th hidden house. It is about the past. It's about taking care of someone. It's about dreams or your alone time. So this is signaling the beginning of the end, about something, um, about the past or secrets, um, or about a project you're holding close to your chest. But you'll have known that it's coming to this point, and most likely you know what this is about. Why this is important, also pay attention to this last quarter moon, is because Uranus is currently in your sign, but it will retrograde, and it will retrograde all the way back into Taurus in the fall. So this last quarter moon is really hearkening to when Uranus enters Taurus in the fall and wraps up some unfinished business. And this last quarter moon is talking to you about it, about that, about wrapping something up. It also might be about money or values that may be playing out in the background. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm just seeing where now the Sun entering Virgo. This is very important for you. It is your fourth house of home, family, parents, your physical living space, your country, your pride, your clan, your patriotism. So it's your annual review, of what's going on with the fourth house. Um, there's a very bright, hopeful new moon in Virgo the very next day. So there's something that's happening in regards to your fourth house of home and family. Yes, it's your annual review, but this year it's special. There's something going on here, and you guys know what it's about. For many of you, there's different types of Geminis with different rising signs, so there's different things that are happening, but definitely something new about your home and family. So this new moon, if you see it, when you see it, make a big, strong wish on it, because it is a very important new moon in Virgo. It's splitting up the year, and it does culminate in 46 months in the future, but it does reverberate for a full year. And since we're also in between the new and the old, with the planets retrograding back into the older signs in the fall, um, this new moon is like a break between the two. And your focus is about home and family, or your parents. So a very important new moon. Pay attention to where you are when you see this new moon, or what you're talking about. Um, and yeah, leave comments. Maybe we'll know what's going on. Um, the next day, we do have the Sun in Virgo that will square Uranus in your sign, Gemini. So Uranus in your sign, you already felt that last month when Uranus entered your sign, or the beginning of this month. Uh, I'm sorry, I don't remember when it was. I apologize. But of all the people, when Uranus entered your sign, something shifted about your physical appearance, about the way people see you, about your profile. Uh, and it could have been about communication or the way you communicate. It could have been about siblings and cousins or neighbors playing out in the background. So something is changing about you, definitely. And it's taking you on a wild ride, which most of you enjoy. Um, with the sun in your home and family squaring Uranus in your sign, uh, your family is going to probably comment on these new feelings that are apparent about you. So it might be that kind of a square. Um, and I'm not really too worried because it's your home and family. So it's not, home and family is always loving and their criticism. So take it that way if it is a criticism, or this can be some of you are getting pregnant or announcing some a pregnancy. Um, uh, for others, it may be other things about your profile, or maybe you've been on a regime and you just look you fantastic. Uh, and because oppositions can be exciting, or squares, well, oppositions too, but squares can be exciting in that sense. It can jumpstart stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. And it is accompanied by the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. So this opportunity in regards to a partner, whether business or personal, is well underway here. So it's somehow related. Your home family, or maybe your parents, and the way you physically appear, and then partnerships. So a lot going on for you here. On the 25th, Venus enters Leo, and Leo is your third house of communications, commuting, siblings, cousins, extended family, neighbors, neighborhood, social media, and your need to be heard. Venus attracts love, money, fortune, and fame. So you are going to be seeing those things in regards to your third house for the next few weeks with Venus's blessings. So whatever opportunities come in regards to your third house, grab it with both hands. Venus will be blessing those areas for you, or whatever you're attempting to do in regards to that. It might be a new car, it might be a new communication device, maybe new neighbors, new relationships. But all is good with Venus, definitely. Or you might be attracting money through those things. All right, Gemini. So that wraps up the month. Um, if you have any questions or you're confused about anything, do drop them in the comments. I will answer them definitely. And wish me luck on my project so I can spend more time on this too. All right, talk to you soon. Hi, Cancer. Cancer. I've missed you guys. I don't know if you've missed me, but I've missed you. As I said in the intro, I did take a vacation for July, but I've actually been working super, super hard after that 4th of July, working OT in a second job. I'm working on this big project and something else on the side, where hopefully in a few months it'll set me up where I can do this more than just once a month, where it'll free me up to, give me the, what's that word? The luxury, yeah, of doing more with this channel and giving you more products, expanding this more. So yeah, excuse me on my absence. And again, you know, the late um, August upload, but I always say the first week is I'll always upload your scopes. All right, so that to the side. Nothing really happening in the first week of August. That's major because I'm only going to be doing major aspects here. Mars just recently entered Libra on the 6th. Um, and Libra is no scratchy, OG, no scratchy. Sorry, he's scratching this. They're pugs and it's so hot and they get sweaty on his eye, whatever, and he's scratching it. So where was I? Cancer, Libra. Libra is your one, two, three, four. It is your fourth house of home, family, your parents, your physical living space, your country, your clan, your patriotism, and you will start feeling a lot of heat and action, and go 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 in this area of your life. So it might be about your physical living space. You might be moving. It might be about your parents, uh, or it might be about an expansion. Maybe you're expanding, or excuse me, or maybe kids are going off to college and you're doing other things with your home and family. But you'll see a lot of heat and action in regards to your fourth house for the next few weeks. Now, the bad, ugly part of August comes with Mars in Libra, again, your fourth house, opposing Saturn in Aries. Aries is your seventh house. I'm sorry, it's not your seventh house, it's your 10th house, Cancer. Gemini, Taurus, Aries. So 1, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, it's your 10th house of career, status, reputation, authority figures, charities, and things like that. Philanthropy is included in that house. So there's an opposition here, and it's not a volatile opposition like Mars versus Pluto. That's volatile. um, but this can be, for some, can be a frustrating opposition because Mars is about go, 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 and let's get you what you want. And Saturn is about wait, 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 and hold on, we've got to take care of these couple of things first. So it's that saying of hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, and wait, 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 wait. So it can be frustrating, a frustrating opposition for some of you. Um, so something about your home and family, your parents, your living space, maybe politics even, and it's about doing it fast and getting it done. Uh, but your career, your status, authority figures are slowing you down, um, and putting some obstacles up. So you need both sides to be balanced in order to go forward because it's Libra, and it's going to be frustrating more than it will be, like I said, volatile for some of you. For others, oppositions can be fantastic. It can be about a marriage. Um, because Mars in Libra, it's about action, maybe setting up a home and family. And then your career and status. Status is about married, not married, single, not single. So this could be a very exciting opposition regarding maybe a marriage or an engagement. Um, for a sliver of you, it can be about a separation or a divorce or some kind of finalization in that aspect. Even though your seventh house is not lit up here, but um, for those of you who are going through that. But the main factor here is about balance because it's Libra. Um, Saturn is powerful, yes, but Libra is a very powerful sign and it rules all types of relationships. So, also, this can be about a business relationship as well. Okay, so this is the major obstacle in August. This is, I think, other things happening in August can be annoying, but this will be like frustrating, annoying for some of you because some of you want to get this wrapped up, and that's why Mars is in Libra. You want something about a home family situation wrapped up, but Saturn here in your 10th house of authority figures is will not let it happen until um, a couple of aspects are dealt with. So look out for that. All right, the next day we do have a full moon. Excuse me, in Aquarius, uh, and Aquarius is, excuse me, sorry, Aquarius is your, oh my God, now I gotta yawn. Woo. Your eighth house of sex, death, and taxes. So sex can mean physical sex, but it really is about intimacy, true intimacy, um, revealing your soul and trusting in the revelation of your soul to the other. Um, Taxes, it's about taxes, government benefits, banks, loans, credit. Um, it can be about inheritances, uh, death, it's about rebirth. Nobody can predict death. Um, no astrologer can do that, but it can be about inheritance. The eighth house is about the house of taboo, uh, the subjects thereof. In any case, you've been working on something here since November, but more specifically, at the end of January, we had a new moon in Aquarius. Um, so you either started a new opportunity here, or you started working on something new here, um, and now it's the full moon. It's the culmination of that. It's the ending. It's either the culmination of finally getting this opportunity built on its two legs, or it's the fruition of having taken that opportunity and milking it for what it is, or it can be just chalking it up to an ending. Like, all right, 4 to 6 months is my line in the sand. I don't want to drag it any further. It's like cut your losses kind of ending. So one of these three things, and each Cancer will know where they stand here. Some of you, it might be just an ending of one part of this eighth house, and it might be working on something else in the eighth house because we had weird like two new moons, I think, back in August. I gotta check that. If I think it was two new moons in Aquarius, but I'll check that, and if it is that, put a little disclaimer. Uh, so yeah, that's the full moon. Um, on the 11th, let me just see if I'm missing something. No. On the 11th, we do have Mercury in Leo stationing direct. This is important for you, Cancer, because it is your very important second house of job, income, money, and your value system. Second house can be also a marriage house. I'm just mentioning that for every sign. But you've had an issue here in your second house, uh, maybe one or two that you've been going back and forth over that you thought you had locked in, and then the parameters changed, and you changed with it now, and then the second time the goalposts changed again. So you haven't been able to stabilize something here. Um, Now with Mercury stationing direct and going forward, you will be getting, the final results. However, it is still in shadow retrograde. So what you come to an agreement regarding your second house between the 11th and towards the end of the month might still be in flux because it will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. Mercury will not. So I'm just saying to still have backup plans in place because it might change again, yet again. But pay attention to the 10th, 11th, or 12th in regards to any communications, agreements, or texting regards your second house, because with the stationing, it really reveals what it's all about or how it will manifest or clear out. Um, so yeah, so for some of you, it could be about deciding between two jobs. For some of you, it's a new job. For others, it may be a promotion. For some of you, since your eighth house is involved, might be in regards to separating your own money and a partner's money, or something about that that's manifesting for you. And for others, it could be about your value system, what you will and will not sell out for, what you will and will not settle for. So pay attention uh, to the stationing of this Mercury in Leo. And these issues go back to November, December. And they are also related to the Pluto Mars oppositions. So yeah, it's still being hammered out, but the stationing of Mercury should give you a clue. All right, then big beautiful Bill, the big beautiful thing that's happening in August is on the 12th. Venus will conjunct Jupiter in your sign, Cancer. This is amazing. It's I know a lot of you will be like, no, it's not amazing. Jupiter being in my sign is so tiring, and everybody wants a piece of me. And it's okay. With big things, big rewards comes um, some heavy lifting. But Venus is coming in to help you out, Cancer. Venus attracts love, money, fortune, fame, and she is not afflicted here and going direct. So, very powerful planet Venus is, and it is helping Jupiter in your sign. So, this is about the way you appear. It is about your physical appearance. It is about your profile and the way people see you. So, there's going to be this beautiful opportunity. And think back to 12 years ago. Um, Something big about your appearance or you uh, was presented to the world then, and it's the same theme but with different circumstances here. um, and for many of you, it could be a new wardrobe, new hairstyle, new appearance, new regime, and what have you. But Venus will be blessing your first house of appearance for the next few weeks, so take advantage of that. Then we have a last quarter moon in Taurus. And Taurus is your 11th house of groups, friends, associations. It is also your hopes, dreams, and visions of how you want to be seen amongst these people or about your future self. Uh, and this is the beginning of the end here. You've had a lot of surprises, ups and downs in the past 7 years with groups and friends. And that basically came to uh, a finale, if you will, when Uranus left Taurus and just recently entered Gemini. Um, so it sort of calmed things down in your friends and groups house. But this last quarter moon is the beginning of the end of something about groups and friends. And why I'm mentioning this and why this is important is this is also hearkening something about this fall, because Uranus is in Gemini now, yes, but it will retrograde, and it will retrograde all the way back into Taurus in the fall, because there's unfinished business there that needs to wrap up. And this last quarter moon is hearkening to that. So pay attention to whatever is going on with your friends, groups, and associations around the 15th, 16th, or 17th, as it will also give you a reveal for the fall in regards to that. Excuse me. May have some things revealed, some secrets revealed. Who knows? All right. The next thing, next important aspects is the sun entering Virgo, and Virgo is your third house of communication, commuting, um, neighbors, neighborhoods, siblings, extended family, and social media. So it is your annual review of all these matters. But this annual review comes right at the next day with the new moon in Virgo. So you're going to have either a new opportunity or you're going to start working on a new opportunity in regards to your third house. Maybe a new car, a new communication device, maybe a new neighborhood, new neighbors. Maybe it'll come through siblings or extended family. Uh, but yeah, the sun will reveal this. It will make it obvious. So look up to the sky, and for this new moon, whenever you see it, make a wish. Because on the same day, Venus in your sign will square Chiron in Aries. Um, and a square doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. It can jumpstart something, but it is in regards to your 10th house of career and status. There's some kind of a wound or a hurt, but Venus being in your sign, beautifying something about you, squares or brings up this past hurt. And this new moon, you're setting your intention on something new in regards to the third house because of the square as well. It's reminding you of something. So, yes, look up to the sky. This is a powerful new moon, not necessarily because it has major aspects to it, but it's this new moon is happens in the middle of the year. It usually manifests 4 to 6 months down the line, but usually with Virgo new moons, it reverberates till the next new moon in Virgo for a full year, and it is, like I said, in the middle of the year. It is breaking up the old and the new, because we've had all these new things. Now we're going back and wrapping things up in the old world, but it's separating the old and the new. So whatever you start here on this new moon, it has the potential for lasting a really long time, maybe 7 to 10 years. Um, Virgo new moons tend to do that. Um, yeah, so that's pretty important. Now, the next day, the Sun in Virgo will square Uranus in Gemini. So there's going to be some kind of a surprise reveal uh, here, in regards to your third house, but also in regards to something in the past or something that maybe you're doing in secret or behind the scenes, or something you're holding close to your chest that you don't want to other people to know. But it might be revealed here, maybe, or you might get an epiphany, and it's related to something in the past. Now we do have a first quarter moon in Sagittarius, so you've started with a new moon in Sagittarius a while back. You've started on a new scheduling or a new routine, maybe. Uh, um, Maybe you got a new pet. Sorry, but you're well into getting really busy with this first quarter moon. It's highlighting something that you started, and it's your sixth house. Schedules, routines, and kinds of rituals, small animals, taking care of someone. It's your sixth house of chaos and gossip. So you're going to start getting busy with a schedule or a routine. And the first quarter moon is highlighting that. Excuse me. Um, but it has something to do with hope or optimism. It's very hopeful. Then on the 25th, Venus will enter Leo. Hooray! So here, this is important to you because Leo is your second house of job, income, and your value system. So whatever that you were waiting on, well, three different cancers. One is whatever issue that you've been absorbing since November, December, um, maybe in March and April, in regards to your second house of job, income, your value system. Uh, Whatever obstacles and the harsh, abrasive things that you had to go through in those periods, Venus coming in here will start smoothing that out, maybe getting you your due. or just smoothing those tensions up. Another set of cancers, you might be meeting someone very uh, very romantic, because Leo natally rules the fifth house of love and romance, through your job, or when you're making income, or it's maybe a client, or um, value system. Someone's going to appreciate your value system a lot, uh, or you're going to be valued in some way. Um, some of you might be setting the date here, because the second house can also be a marriage house. So some of you might be setting the date here. Um, and for others, it may be a new job, or a new position, or a raise, or your business can see some kind of benefit 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 here. But it's for the next few weeks after the 25th. So take full advantage of Venus's blessings in regards to your second house of money, job, income, and your value system. This is great for you, Cancer, because I know a lot of cancers are worried about that. And then the last two aspects, they're just very soft, pleasing aspects, supporting aspects. So I'm not going to really go into that, but I wanted to mention these aspects. And I am sorry to have not talked to you guys soon, but wish me luck on my project so I can spend more time on this. If you have any questions, or you're confused about anything, please leave them in the comments. I will speak to you soon. Good luck, Cancer. Hello, Leo. Hi, I missed you guys. Oh, you missed me. As I said in the intro, yeah, I did take like a mini vacation in July, from July's horoscope. But I've actually been working really super hard overtime, and a second job. I'm working on this project, and as another side project, and I'm trying to set it up where I can have some free time in a few months, where I can do more with this channel than just monthly horoscopes. Trying to do, introduce new products and things, but I need the free time, and of course, money needs to be set up. So I'm working hard on that. So bear with me again with the late uploads, but you'll always have your monthly horoscope by the first week, the ending of the first week, like I've mentioned before. So yeah, that's my usual disclosure. But nothing really major going on the first week in August, um, except for Mars entering Libra for the next few weeks. Um, and Libra is your third house of communication, commuting, neighbors, neighborhood, siblings, extended family, cousins, social media, and language. It is your house of your need to be heard. So you'll start seeing a lot of action and heat in this third house for the next few weeks. And Libra also rules all types of relationships. So that's going to be playing out in the background. Um, Now, the ugly part of this month comes on the 8th, with an opposition between Mars in Libra, your third house, and Saturn in Aries. And Aries, where's Aries? Oh, yeah, Aries is your ninth house of legalities, higher education, foreigners, foreign travel, publication, the World Wide Web. And Aries also rules the first house of image, so that is playing out in the background. So whatever you have this fire and energy to do in regards to your third house is being opposed and slowed down by something in your ninth house. There's something that needs to be taken care of, um, a couple of steps, or a step in your ninth house before Mars can advance in your third house. So that's what the opposition is about. It can manifest in a whole different variety. I mean, the simplest and clearest example would be if you are trying to maybe get ahead with a language, trying to get yeah, understand a language, or communicate a language, or something. That's Mars in Libra. Saturn in Aries might be, well, you can't do that until you get this, you maybe class, certification in a certain language, because the ninth house is about higher education as well. So that's the clearest example it could be, but it can manifest in all different kinds of ways. Maybe maybe you have a social media channel, maybe a YouTube channel, Rumble account, or something that you're trying to set up or get off the ground. um, but there's maybe some kind of restriction where you need so many subscribers or so many whatever, but you're pushing ahead. You're getting this fire, this energy to communicate something here, because Mars is in your communication house, but Saturn is slowing you down in your Aries house. So the third house opposing the ninth house. And most of you know what this is about. Um, but yeah, and this is not a volatile opposition like Mars versus Pluto. That's volatile. This is more of a frustrating opposition. It's about hurry up and wait. It's one of those. But the secret here is a balance, because Libra rules balance and cooperation. So there's some kind of a balance, patient, methodical balance that needs to happen. So the frustration, like I said, Mars doesn't know, doesn't like even being in patient Libra, balancing Libra. It's about fiery Aries. So there is mutual reception here as well. Mars will always look out for Aries, and no matter what sign they're in. So your ninth house is being cared for, but it's about balancing something before moving forward. So the frustration, how can you get rid of that frustration? Because it can help affect you, God forbid, health wise. I suggest walking. If you don't, you don't go to gym or whatever, do walking and thinking. It'll really release that energy. Okay, Leo, and you know all about health and that. We do have a full moon on the ninth in Aquarius, and we had a new moon back in January in Aquarius. Excuse me, I'm trying to do something here. It's not. There we go. All right, and Aquarius is your seventh house of partnerships. As if you don't already know that we've been harping about Pluto and Aquarius, giving you such a hard time with partners. But there's a full moon on the ninth in Aquarius. Now, this is significant for you because there was, excuse me, either a new partner or a new opportunity with a new partner or an existing partner um, that started in January, or you were working on an opportunity with a partner for the past 4 to 6 months. Excuse me. Here we see the fruition of it, or the culmination, or the ending. Uh, Obviously, your hard work here, you will see the fruition of this partnership, or a culmination of your efforts here. For others, it could be an ending, and um, it could be. It doesn't have to be like a really bad ending, but like it can be a frustrating ending, maybe as well. Um, because you are having these oppositions with Pluto and Aquarius. One of you may give up here because it's just and the two powerful oppositions between Mars in your sign and Pluto in Aquarius. It's rubbed down something, um, and here it's like we just cannot knock each other down anymore. Something has to end. For some of you, I'm not talking about all Leos, but for some of you there is an ending here. Look to 16 degrees in your natal chart also to see further in how this ending may affect you. But yeah, for some of you it is a full stop ending, a separation of some kind. But like I said, for others um, it could be a culmination of both of your efforts to come to some kind of agreement or conclusion. Because, like I said, Mars in Libra is playing out in the background, and Libra rules all types of partnerships, and Libra demands equilibrium. So, with this full moon ending in your partnership house, it has to be equitable for both. And if it's not, it's going to be a separation. All right, on the 11th, we do have Mercury stationing direct in your sign, Leo. So for the past few weeks, something about the way you appear, your physical self, your profile, has been in question, or there's been talk going back and forth regarding your first house, and there might have been one stickling issue. Um, and this is now the ending of that. It's You're going to go over this maybe issue. I'm putting it up in air quotes for the third pass, um, with Mercury stationing direct in your sign. So from the 11th forward, it will be going a direct yes, but it's still in its shadow until the end of the month. So even if you come to some kind of agreement or conclusion um, in the next few weeks, take it with a grain of salt, or still have your backup plan, because it's still in shadow and it still might change. But pay attention to the 10th, 11th, or the 12th, when Mercury is stationed in the sky in your sign, as it will reveal something to you, an epiphany maybe of how this is meant to end, or how it will manifest. Again, it is in your in Leo, so that's your first house of self and physical appearance, and profile. Okay, so that's it regarding Mercury and in your sign. The most beautiful day of the year, no, not only of August, is on the 12th. Venus will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Um, Besides Cancer and Gemini really benefiting from this, everybody will be benefiting. And for you, Cancer is your 12th hidden house. It is your house of the past. It is your house of doing things in secret or behind the scenes, or holding something close to your chest. It is about dreams and visions, about taking care of someone. Maybe it's about faith and spirituality. So Jupiter is it just entered Cancer, loves being in Cancer, and something is you are some of you are doing something behind the scenes that you are not ready to reveal just yet. And with Venus conjuncting Jupiter here, it might be about, well, it can be about love, money, fortune, or fame, because that's what Venus attracts. And think back 12 years. You did have something that was blessed in some kind of a big way, um, in regards to a secret or behind the scenes, or maybe about the past. Um, so, yeah, you look to the 12th for some auspicious blessing thing regarding your 12th hidden house. Um, on the 16th, we do have a last quarter moon in Taurus. And Taurus is your 10th house of career, status, and your reputation and authority figures. So this last quarter moon in Taurus is signifying the beginning of the end. Why can't I find this now? Sorry. Full moon in Aquarius. I mentioned that. Mars in Libra. Mercury in Venus conjunct Mercury. Okay, last quarter moon. Here we go. God, I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. Last quarter moon in Taurus happens on the 16th, and this is signifying the beginning of the end. And it is about your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. And you already know what this is about. But what's significant about this is hearkening to the fall as well, because Uranus currently just recently left Taurus and entered Gemini. But it's going to retrograde, and it will retrograde all the way back into Taurus for some unfinished business in the fall to wrap things up there. So this beginning of the end here, Revelation, is giving you a clue for that wrap up procedure in October. That'll happen in regards to your 10th house of career and status and your and authority figures. Um, the next major aspect that I want to make you aware of is the 22nd. Very important for you. The sun enters Virgo. That is your second house of job, income, and your value system, your second house of money. So it's your annual review about this. So you might be thinking about um, how to um, change something about your second house. Maybe it's a new job, a new position. Maybe it's going back to an old job. For a lot of you, might be going back to something that you were doing in the past. Yeah. For some of you, that's what's going on, because your 12th house is also lit up here in a big way with Jupiter and Cancer. And then very next day, we do have a very important new moon in Virgo. Again, your second house. So it might be a new opportunity, a new job, like I said, or you're going to be working on getting a new job or a new income stream, something about that. Um, Again, it might be going back to something you already had done. Maybe it's a business, um, or a profession, because on the same day we do have Venus in Cancer squaring Chiron in Aries. Squares are not necessarily bad, and Venus, of course, is blessing your second house of job and income. And with this square, Chiron is about a past wound or a past hurt in Aries. So um, Aries is your ninth house of foreigners, career, higher education, foreign travel, the World Wide Web, and publishing. Um, and Chiron is about the past. So, yeah, it For some of you, it's about going back to a profession. You might have been retired and you're needing something about money and making ends meet, or something about a second income stream. hmm and you might be coming out of retirement, maybe semi retirement uh, for some. Like I mentioned, for others, it could be a new job or a new position. Um, and for a third set of Leos, it can be setting your intentions on finding a new position or a new job or a new income stream, because that's front in mind here. And this new moon in Virgo will manifest usually 4 to 6 months down the line. However, Virgo new moons are very powerful. They really change um, your Virgo related house for like many years to come. Um, 4 to 6 months, yes, but it will reverberate for another full year till the next Virgo new moon. So, and it also splits up the year, and it's splitting up this year between the old and the new, as we've entered new areas, but we are going back with the retrograde. So, this is significant. It's setting a marker, some kind of a marker. So wherever you are, when you see this new moon, give a really big, tight wish about your job, your income, or your value system. It can also be, this can also signify maybe a new marriage or engagement. The second house um, does cover marriage as well, so it can be that your value system, because it involves your value system as well. Or you might be putting your foot down regarding your value system, what you will and will not sell out for um, going forward. Again, because you've had these obstacles with partners or partner. This new moon is a significant new moon for you, Leo. Okay, so look out for the new moon and make your wish. um, then we have, yay, finally, on the 25th, Leo, Venus will enter your sign. Hallelujah. Um, Venus attracts love, money, fortune, and fame, and it is entering your first house, Leo, of self image, physical appearance, profile. Um, it will attract people to you. So for the next few weeks, take full advantage of Venus being in your sign. And you do rule the fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity. For you single Leos, you will be meeting potential partners here. But partners, again, because Pluto's in Aquarius, but it's retrograde, so it's muted. You will have the full benefit of Venus's blessings. So take full possession of that. Otherwise, all kinds of partnerships you will benefit from, because you will be very alluring and attractive, and you'll shine just like the sun, your ruler. So this is fantastic. The ending of the month for you, Leo, and for the next few weeks, take full advantage of this. The next two aspects, is a sextile, which is a supportive aspect, and then a trine, a very soft aspect. You may not even feel them, but that's how the month ends, Leo. And I'm rooting for you always. So if you have any questions, or you're confused about anything, please leave them in the comments. I do answer all the questions, and actually, comments and questions are very much welcomed, because it does um, help the channel with the algorithm. It shows that people are interacting with the information. So I welcome and encourage any comments and questions. All right, take care of yourselves, Lee. I'll talk to you soon. Hi, Virgo. Virgo, good to talk to you again. Um, as I mentioned in the intro, I did take, July as a vacation, mini vacation for me. But actually, after the fourth, I've been actually working two jobs, and really, really hard, because I'm working on something, a big project, and something else, where it will hopefully free me up in a month or two, so that I can do this more than just monthly horoscopes, and can offer you guys more than that, more videos and products, and other things that I'm setting up. So excuse my absence, but it is not because I've forgotten about you. It's because I'm setting up this channel for something bigger. All right. So, having said that, nothing really major going on the first week of August, except that we just had Mars enter Libra on the 6th, but Mars will be in Libra for the next few weeks. Um, Sorry, and Libra is your second house of job, income, money, and your value system. So, the heat, the action will be here. Mars rules fiery Aries, and it is about go, 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 and getting you what you want. And you, Virgo, have been working on something in regards to your second house of job, income, um, maybe a business as well in the background for some of you. or a second or third job income or stream. Um, there's a lot of things going on with your job and income, Virgo, um, that you have already been working on, maybe behind the scenes. But for the next few weeks, you are really going to ramp up. Mars will really ramp up the fire and the energy in regards to your second house. It might be a new position or new job or something. In any case, this is where the heat and the action will be. The only stickling issue, of course, there's always one, right? Is that the yuckiest time of this month will be with Mars on the 8th. Mars in Libra, opposing Saturn in Aries. Now, um, give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Yeah. So, Aries is your 8th house of joint finances, intimacy, taxes, government benefits, credits, loans, inheritance, um, the taboo, the past, death and rebirth. Again, death, allegorically, it doesn't mean, no astrologer can predict death. But this opposition. So, okay, Mars, it's not like the Mars opposes Pluto, where it was a volatile opposition. This opposition is more of a frustrating opposition because Mars, remember, is, like I said, it wants to get you what you want. So it puts a lot of drive, heat, and energy into the area of the house that it's traveling. In this case, Libra, your second house, and opposing Saturn in Aries. Saturn is, of course, opposite Mars is energy and heat and drive. It's slow, methodical. It rules slow, methodical Capricorn. It takes time. It's called father time. So Mars wants to get something done in regards to your second house, but Saturn is saying you can do it up to this point, but you'll have to wait for this point and beyond because there's one or two more steps that need to be accomplished in your 8th house. What that is, of course, it depends on your natal chart. It depends on where you are in life. It depends on your age. It depends on a lot of things. Of course, look for 01 degrees, 20 minutes in your natal chart to give you a better clue if you do have those degrees, to give a more of a reveal. And also listen for your rising sign and even your moon sign. The moon rules emotions, so that's a driver as well, to get a better clue of what this opposition may be about, to narrow it down more. But it is about, again, your job, income. You have this energy, you want to go fast and furious, and you're getting these obstacles from Saturn about joint finances or taxes or government benefits or maybe a certificate if it's a business that you need to, maybe get a certificate before you can launch, something like that, or a stipulation that you have to reach before you can accomplish what you can accomplish in your second house. Okay, of course, any questions, comments, leave them in the, if you're confused, I can answer them in the comments. On the 9th, we do have a full moon in Aquarius. We did have a new moon in Aquarius back in January. And Aquarius is your 6th house of health, habits, routines, scheduling, any kind of rituals. Brushing your teeth can be a ritual. Small pets. Um, that just reminded me to turn the air conditioner on for my beautiful pet. It is the 6th house of chaos and gossip. And back in November, you did start either a new schedule, a new routine. It's also about taking care of someone. Um, and you've had some obstacles from your Leo related house, which is your 12th hidden house, because we had Mars and Leo opposing Pluto and Aquarius. Um, so you've had some issues here, but there was something that you started, uh, and it was very uplifting with the new moon in Aquarius back in January, more so than November. And the 9th is here we have the full moon in Aquarius, so it's the culmination of your hard work here, um, or the fruition of your hard work since January, or it could be for a sliver of you, some of you, it could be an ending of that schedule, that routine, and you're going to start a new schedule, a new routine. Because for one of two reasons. One is that in the past 4 to 6 months, you've had enough with this routine and schedule. You were like, okay, I'm done with it. I'm going to cut my losses and go. So that's the ending full moon ending, or it could be, like I said, this, it's not working for me, the schedule, this routine, so I'm ending that, and I'm going to start this new schedule and routine. So it could be that ending, um, if it's not a fruition of your hard work and culmination. um, for some of you, it's about your health. uh, you had a wake up call in November, and in January you might have gotten a new opportunity or started working on a new opportunity in regards to your health and habits. Um, and these past 4 to 6 months, you might have been working on that or researching something. And now you're coming to a conclusion on how to go forward. Because remember, Pluto's still in Aquarius, so you'll still be intensely dealing with scheduling, routine, and health. But Pluto's now retrograde, so you're getting some reprieve. But in the fall, when it goes direct, um, you're basically setting something up now. With this full moon, it's either the ending or fruition, and you're changing something. And it can also be about a job, because again, it's your schedule and routine. All right, I've beaten that dead horse. Let me move on. Um, the next major aspect that I want to mention is on the 11th, Mercury in Leo will station direct. Virgo, Leo is your 12th hidden house. It is what you do behind the scenes, what you hold close to the chest. It's about the past. It's about spirituality and faith, dreams and visions. It's also about taking care of someone. It can be about creativity as well. So, not least to say that November and December brought some issues regarding your 12th hidden house, because Mars was in Leo then. And then also in March and April when Mars was direct in Leo. So this is an ongoing issue. And for the past few weeks, when Mercury entered Leo, you started discussing, texting, calling, agreements, disagreements about something regarding your 12th house. And there's one or two stickling issues that you've been trying to um, figure out, or come to a resolution with in the past few weeks. And Mercury going forward, starting the 11th, you will re-encounter that and hopefully finally get the final answer, or you make your mind up about it finally for the third and final pass, um, with Mercury now going direct. However, I want to remind you that Mercury is still in shadow, direct, and will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. So if you do come to a conclusion agreement between the 11th and the end of the month, just still have your backup plan, because it might yet again change this final decision. But pay attention on the 10th, 11th, or 12th regarding this 12th house and these communications or agreements or thoughts, because whenever a planet stations, it does give you epiphany, or a peek of what the entire purpose of it, or how it will manifest. So pay attention to that stationing of Mercury in your 12th hidden house. So anything that's communicated or thought of, or maybe a dream, if you get a dream. All right, the most beautiful day, if not of the month, of the year, is on the 12th. Venus conjuncts Jupiter in Cancer. Woohoo! This is absolutely beautiful. Everyone will benefit from this. Jupiter loves being in Cancer, and Venus is unencumbered and free and going direct. A very powerful planet that attracts money, love, fortune, and fame, and all the niceties of life. And Cancer is your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, memberships of any kind. Um, and it is also your hopes, visions, and dreams of how you want to be seen amongst these people. Uh, for many Virgos, you have been thinking about um, your appearance, um, and most likely your physical appearance. There's something you want to change. There's this desire uh, for that, because um, um, well, because it may have something to do with the past, or about intimacy, or what have you. But many of you are thinking about image and how you want to be seen, and you've been maybe contemplating different things, maybe a change of wardrobe, or maybe plastic surgery. Maybe, it can be. This is for a group of you, and here on the 12th, you are going to get. You're either entering into maybe you're getting this plastic surgery then, or signing up for it, or something, or deciding on something here. But on the 12th, you're getting this big boost, um, uh, about and or from friends, groups, associations, or your hopes and visions of how you want to be seen. It's getting a huge boost here, and it's very nice. It's for you. It's very pleasing. It's setting you up very really nicely. I'm wishing you well for that. So yeah, look for that opportunity. All right, on the 16th, we do have a last quarter moon in Taurus, and Taurus is your ninth house. Let me make sure. Yes, it's your ninth house. It's your ninth house of higher education, um, philosophy, foreigners, foreign travel, publication, and the World Wide Web. And a last quarter moon simply is a the beginning of the end of something, and you already are aware of this. Like you know there's an ending coming to something in regards to your ninth house. One is that Uranus left Taurus and entered Gemini just very recently, um, so you know there's an ending. That ending happened. You got a reprieve from it because Uranus, you know, turns worlds upside down, and in your ninth house it turned it upside down for the last 7 years. But it left Taurus and entered Gemini. Uranus will retrograde in Gemini very shortly, but it'll retrograde all the way back into Taurus in the fall. So this last quarter moon is hearkening to that retrograde of Uranus in Taurus in the fall. Uranus in Taurus in the fall will is doing that retrograde because there's some unfinished business. There's a wrap up that needs to be taken care of. Loose ends need to be tied. Reconciliations, resolutions. So pay attention to this last quarter moon, whatever the discussion thought that comes up in regards to your ninth house, as it is hearkening to the fall. Okay. Um, Next major aspect that I'll discuss, and it's important to you, of course, is on the 22nd. The sun enters your sign, Virgo. Um, and everything about your first house of image, profile, appearance, physical appearance will be highlighted for you and others to see. It is your annual review of how you want to appear or appear to others. So it's all about you, and your profile. The very next day, we do have a new moon in your sign. And this new moon in your sign is pretty significant. I think. I don't know if other astrologers are saying that, but in my experiences, Virgo new moons are very powerful. They not only set a new opportunity or intention, but it follows through significantly. So new moons, manifest in 46 months down the line. So definitely, if you see this new moon, definitely, hold your hands really tight against each other and look to that new moon and wish for whatever you want to wish about your first house of appearance. Um, but new Virgo new moons not only manifest in 46 months, but they usually reverberate for a full year until the next August or next new moon in Virgo. Um, and it is also in the middle of the year. And it is drawing some kind of a line in the sand between the old and the new, because we have just been going through all these new energies. And yeah, right after this new moon in your sign, and starting September, everything will retrograde back into the old signs. So there's a clear separation between the old and the new with this new moon in your sign. So very auspicious, and pay attention. Again, when you see it, make a wish, a really, really true wish regarding your first house. Um, on the 25th, then, we do have Venus entering Leo. So, again, Leo is your 12th hidden house. And whatever obstacles you've had with your 12th hidden house, or a secret, or the past, or about spirituality and faith, um, creativity, most significantly back in November, December, and then March, April. Um, and of course, with Mercury going flip flopping in Leo the last few weeks. Uh, Now Venus is coming in to smooth all those yucky things that have happened in the past. Um, and for some of you, you will be attracting maybe even money with this secret behind the project, or you may get visions or dreams of of something in regards to love or romance or money. Venus attracts love, money, fortune, and fame, as I've mentioned many times before. Uh, and it's here for a few weeks, so you might be having very lovely dreams as well, or really creative spurts. So take full advantage of that. You'll have that for the next few weeks. It'll be blessing your 12th hidden house. And that's about it. Those are the major aspects in August. And then September. starts the eclipses. You have a powerful eclipse, um, I believe in your sign and your opposite sign. So, but that's September anyway, and all the planets will start retrograding, and we'll be going back and wrapping things up of past things. But that's September. All right, Virgo, if you have any questions, and actually, I welcome and encourage questions, debates, comments, and all that, because YouTube's algorithm has this new thing that not only watching, watch time, they want some interaction. It boosts the channel. So that would be a great help for me if you guys can leave comments or if you want questions. I'd appreciate that. Other than that, I will talk to you soon, Virgo. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Well, hello, Libra. I missed you. I hope you missed me. Yeah, as I mentioned in the intro, I did take the 4th of July as a mini vacation. So I didn't really do a full scope in July. But actually, it was just that week. I went back to work full and hard. I'm actually doing a lot of OT. Um, I'm, I'm working on a really special project and a side thing where hopefully it will free me up to do more with this channel than just monthly horoscopes, um, where I can also offer some products and other things that you guys might be interested in. But yeah, it needs, it needs support. So I'm trying to work on something where it will give me some support where I can free me up to do this channel much better than expected. So for this month, again, it's only going to be the major, like 3, 4 aspects, 5 maybe the most that I'll be discussing with you guys. And having said that, nothing really is happening in the first week of, nothing major is happening in the first week of of August, this week that we're in, except that on the 6th, Mars entered your sign, Libra. So Mars is the ruler of your opposite sign, Aries, and Mars is all about, excuse me, fire, heat, and energy, and go, go, go. And the only motion is forward. And having entered your sign, it is about your image, your physical appearance, your persona, your profile. It is all about you, you, you. So it can be about wardrobe, hair. It can be about trinkets. It can be about a lot of things in regards to your profile. This is where you'll see the heat and the energy for the next few weeks, which is great for all of you guys who want to change something about you. Many of you will start the gym or go back to the gym or start a regime or what have you. So hooray for that. Now, having said that, of course, party pooper comes in on the 8th. Mars in your sign will oppose Saturn in your in Aries, which is your 7th house of partnerships, all kinds of partnerships. So whatever you're starting to work on in regards to your image, physical appearance, or what have you, somehow your partners are going to be slowing you down here. Um, and there'll be obstacles or stipulations or what have you. Uh, and it is a serious opposition. But it's not like the Mars Pluto opposition where it's volatile and very scary. This opposition between you and Aries is more of a frustrating opposition because Mars is go, go, go. Um, Time is money, energy, let's go. And Saturn is, oh, slow and steady wins the race. It rules methodical social climber Capricorn. It's obstacle. It's father time. It's like, well, there's this and that needs to be done. So it's that saying, hurry up and wait, wait and wait. So it'll be a frustrating sort of opposition. And I mentioned to some signs, and I'm mentioning it to you since it's in your first house, because there'll be so much energy, pent up energy um, with you, and Saturn is very powerful. It's going to slow you down deliberately. I suggest if you don't go to the gym or treadmill, whatever, do try to walk it off. It'll really, really help you. Okay. Um, or, if you have a treadmill at home, just watch the Food Channel and do the treadmill, or watch politics and do the treadmill. You'll just see in like 10 minutes you'll be sweating up a storm. Anyway, on the 9th, we do have a full moon in Aquarius, and we did have a new moon in Aquarius back in January. Aquarius is your 5th house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets or sweet pets, um, and gambling. gambling as in casino gambling, and the gamble we take in life. The fifth house is the house of fun, lighthearted fun and romance. So you started something here back in January, and on the ninth, there is a culmination here. So it's either a fruition of your past efforts here regarding the fifth house, or a culmination of an opportunity that started and it's going to change to the next level, or it could be an ending of cutting your losses and this is not going to go any further and we're ending it and let's move on. Or it could be an ending where you take it to the next level. Okay. Again, full moons really conceal more than they reveal. So try not to make hardline decisions on or about the ninth. Give yourself and others a space of a few days before you make final decisions regarding your fifth house. Um, the next major aspect that I want to discuss a little bit because it's more complicated is Mercury stationing direct in the sign of Leo on the 11th. And Leo, of course, is your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, memberships of any kind. It's also the house of your hopes, um, dreams, and visions of how you want to be seen amongst these people. Um, and it's usually the house of networking, a very important house for you. Um, and you've had, to say the least, issues here back in November and December, and then again in March and April. And for the past maybe couple of weeks, with Mercury going back and forth in Leo, and you not getting the full answer you need or want, or people changing their minds all the time on you here, flip flopping. And that is because of Mercury going back and forth in Leo. Um, well, now on the 11th and forward, it will start going direct. Two things. One is, um, however, even with it going direct, it will still be in shadow direct. It will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. So whatever agreements um, you come to with your 11th house, um, take it with a grain of salt, or still have backup plans because it might change yet again once Mercury clears its shadow. That's one. Second is pay attention to the 10th, 11th, and the 12th because Mercury is stationing direct. It will be still in the sky. Well, it'll appear for us to be standing still in the sky. And whenever it does that, you get like an epiphany, or you get the bigger picture of what this is all about. Or if there's anything hidden from you, many times you will find it on the day or a few days when it's stationing direct. So anything having to do with your 11th house of groups, friends, and associations. And also, Leo natally rules the fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, and pets. So that somehow is playing out in the background too. So yeah, pay attention to any of those matters that you may get an epiphany on. All right, and then the best day, if not of this month, of the year, dum da da dum, is on the 12th. Venus will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Hooray! um, this is huge. Everyone will benefit from this, but most certainly you, because Venus is your ruler. Um, Jupiter loves being in Cancer, and again, Venus is your ruler, so it will always look out for your best interest. Um, and this has to do with your 10th house of career, status, reputation, authority figures, philanthropy, and all that is in the 10th house. This is a huge win for you, Libra. Something about your 10th house is going to expand and get the benefits of Venus, your ruler. So for many of you, it will be a marriage or an engagement that will ring out in your community or your friends, and it will be like the match made in heaven. For because the 10th house rules status, and status is married, not married, single, not single. Now, depending on your chart and if your natal chart and if there's any afflictions, this can be also, yeah, married, not married, single, not single, can be some type of separation or cancellation, but not necessarily, but for a very tiny sliver, because Jupiter will expand even problems. If there are problems, it will expand it so that you will know what you're dealing with in the future. Uh, it's a very small sliver, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Um, for others, it will be the pinnacle of your career, or you become some type of an authority figure in your field. But a very huge win for you guys, and well deserved. So, wishing you the best on that. All right, on the 16th, we do have a last quarter moon in Taurus. And last quarter moon is the beginning of the end. And Taurus is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, um, the mortgage, taxes, government benefits, loans, credits, inheritances, the taboo, the past, um, and all that good stuff. So there's, and you'll know it's not something new, but there's something that's coming to a culmination. But the 16 highlights the very important step of the beginning of the end, which will come shortly. The other major significance about this is that it's hearkening to the fall, because Uranus is currently left Taurus and entered Gemini, but it's going to retrograde in Gemini, and it'll retrograde all the way back into Taurus in the fall for some unfinished business, wrap ups, resolutions, reconciliations. And this last quarter moon is hearkening to that, um, those events in the fall. So that'll give you a future outlook or epiphany on that. Okay. The next major aspect is on the 22nd. The sun will enter Virgo. Virgo is your 12th hidden house. It is your house of the past, of secrets, behind the scenes, of faith and spirituality, um, of dreams and visions, of taking care of someone as well. And it is about creativity, and sometimes even money, believe it or not. But and Virgo natally rules scheduling routines and the mundane things. So that is somehow playing in the background. And this, the sun entering Virgo is your annual review of all these things, and what you have accomplished in the past year, since the sun was here last year, and what you need to tweak and all that. So it highlights all the dark crevices there. Now, the very next day, we do have a new moon in Virgo. So you will have either a new opportunity, or you will set your intentions on a new opportunity, or something new regarding something you're working on in the behind the scenes, or something about the past. Um, but this is a significant new moon, not because it's afflicted by anything, but more so because it's separating the year and separating the new from the past. Um, because the planets are all the planets, most of the planets will be retrograding, are already retrograding, and others will also, and retrograde all the way back into the older sides before them. So it's setting like it's separating the old from the new, like whatever new idea or new opportunity that starts on this new moon in Virgo, count on that to reverberate in 2026. Usually new moons will manifest in 4 to 6 months down the line. um, so you will see a culmination or fruition of that, and it's, it's sitting well with all the planets retrograding back in the previous signs and wrapping up old business, so that we can fully embrace the new, starting in January and February. But this new moon will also, not only these 4 to 6 months, it will reverberate out to a full year till next August. um, some new Virgo new moons are so powerful, they do reverberate 7 to 10 years in the future, because it's about daily habits, rituals, routines. Okay, and we're creatures of habit, and once we find a new routine or pattern that works, we usually hang on to it for a very long time. Suffice it to say, this is a very important new moon in Virgo. So pay attention to when you see that new moon in the sky. Clutch your hands together into your chest, and tight, and make the most blessed wish you want to have in regards to your 12th house. Okay. Um, where am I? I am in the 25th. Venus will enter Leo. And Leo is your 11th house on the 25th. So again, whatever whatever obstacles that you have been encountering in regards to friends, groups, and associations, or your hopes and dreams of the vision of yourself, um, here on the 25th and for the next few weeks, Venus will be smoothing all that out and giving you more. Again, Venus is your ruler. So the money, the fortune, the fame, the romance that it will be attracting it through your 11th house. And that's absolutely fantastic. Um, Especially networking. Watch for networking. That's going to be huge for you. And that's how the month ends. And for the next few weeks, you have Venus doing that with you in your 11th house. So a nice end to it. And then next month we'll worry about eclipses as we enter eclipses and then retrograding back into the past. But that's for next month. All right, Libra, that's how the month ends. It's looking good for August, except for a couple of things which we can handle. Uh, if you have any questions or comments or you're confused about anything, actually, I welcome and encourage it because YouTube has this new algorithm that interacting with the video through comments or questions really boosts my channel. So I'd appreciate your help in that. So I encourage your comments or questions. Okay, take care, Libra. I'll talk to you soon. Hello, Scorpio. Missed you guys. Um, yeah, I took July off for the 4th. Didn't do a full horoscope for July. And actually, it was just that week that I had that mini vacation. I've actually been working overtime a lot. Um, I'm working on a project, setting something up where it can free me up to do more than monthly horoscopes for you guys. Do more videos and then offer you actually more products and other things that may help you. So that's why I'm working so hard and only uploading monthly horoscopes. But hopefully, in a month or two, I'll be doing. I'll be set up with this working so much overtime and saving so much. I'll be set up so I can spend more time on this. So sorry for the late upload, but again, in my other videos, I always mention I'll always have monthly horoscopes uploaded at least by the first week of the month. Having said that, nothing really major going on in the first week of August, except for we had Mars enter Libra on the 6th. And Libra is your 12th hidden house. It's your house of the past, of secrets, of working behind the scenes, of faith, spirituality, of visions, of dreams, very vivid dreams, of creativity, and uh, oddly enough, sometimes money. And it is the house of taking care of someone as well. So you're going to see a lot of heat in action here. For some of you who are working behind the scenes, you are going to be, your friends, your family are going to be like, what are you doing? Because you're going to be disappearing a lot because there's something big that you're working on. And now you're getting the full force of Libra now, lighting the fire underneath you to get whatever you're doing um, getting done. Otherwise, it'll be a lot of dreams, vivid dreams, or your creativity is going to like be off the chains. But yes, for the next few weeks, you will have Mars help here. Now, the major aspects, again, I'm only going to be discussing maybe three or four. The yuckiest day of the month is on the 8th. Mars in Libra will oppose Saturn in Aries. And Aries is your sixth house of health, habits, routines, scheduling, small animals. It's the sixth house, as they call it, of chaos and gossip. Not a terribly bad house to have Saturn in. Saturn sets up foundations and rules so that you can have a manageable routine and schedule, and your health is in check and up to par. Uh, but you're going to have this opposition. Um, this opposition I'm describing as frustrating, more so than a volatile opposition like we had with Mars and Pluto. Uh, Mars is about go, 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 and let's get it done. And here's the energy you need. Let's go already. And Saturn is about, whoa, hold on there, little feller. It rules slow and methodical Capricorn. The rings around Saturn is about obstacles and testing you in your faith and through obstacles at times, and telling you these are the rules. You have to get this, this, and that done before you can before I'll give way to Mars. Uh, so that's where the frustration is that you are going to be wanting to do something in regards to the 12th house, but your scheduling, your routine, and your health might be an obstacle to it. And who is stronger? Yes, Mars is the god of war, but Saturn is an outer planet and much, much more stronger. So it makes perfect sense is that you need to have your health um, in good working order, your mental health, your physical health, as well as your schedule, your routine, your ritual. Rituals can be brushing your teeth. If you skip a day or two, you might have health issues with your teeth or your eyes or whatever. Um, you need to have that before you can accomplish what Mars wants you to accomplish. So that's where the frustration lies. And I've been telling some signs, and I'll also tell you, since it's affecting your sixth house of health and habits, is if you are not able to accomplish what you want to accomplish in your 12th house, and if you're not, you don't go to the gym or what have you, try walking off the energy. because Mars is all explosive energy, and it will really help you with your health as well. Otherwise, it might be because you're working behind the scenes and you know stealing yourself away to be by yourself. The obstacle might come with you don't show up for a dinner or a conference call or something, and you know that's where your schedule is um, set off. So that's where the opposition is, and that's where Mars and Saturn is bringing your attention to get that in balance, because Libra is all about balance for the future. All right, I've beaten that dead horse. The next day, on the 9th, we do have a full moon in Aquarius, and we had a new moon back in January in Aquarius. And Aquarius is your fourth house of home, your physical living space, your family, your parents, your country, your clan, your pride, your patriotism. Covers all those things. So you either had a new opportunity that you started back then in January, or you started working on a new opportunity to manifest a new opportunity. So this full moon is the culmination or fruition of your hard work since January regarding home, family, or parents, and you're going on to the next step. So it might be the completion of a renovation. It might be closing on a house. It might be finally deciding, all of you guys, well, yeah, we need to get a new house. Or kids are going off to school or college, and you're making a decision to downgrade. Whatever it is, there's some kind of a culmination or an ending that's coming um, around the 9th regarding your home and family. Um, for some of you, a sliver of you, it could be an ending of a family situation, uh, and it's not something that's going to come out of the blue. Don't be scared like that. It's just like the final steps or stages of whatever separation there was, or divorce, or God forbid, maybe a passing away of a parent. Whatever it was, it's the ending of that. Uh, for others, it could be, yes, about a divorce or a separation, and um, it is cutting your losses and going. It's like, okay, I can't sustain this anymore. uh, I'm going to cut my losses. So it could be that type of an ending. It depends on your natal chart, uh, on how old you are, where you are in life, um, and a lot of other factors. You can check your natal chart for 16 degrees to maybe glance more of a clue of where you can be affected by this full moon, and also listen to your rising sign and your moon sign. Moons rule emotions, and those can definitely play a part, as the full moon rules Cancer, emotional Cancer, and that it can play a part in this full moon ending decision. So, yeah, to get further clues or narrow it down. Now, remember, full moons conceal more than they reveal. The moon is at night; it is hidden. Our emotions are ruled by the moon; they're hidden. So try not to make any life altering, uh, hardline decisions on a full moon or thereabouts, and especially because it's your fourth house of home and family and parents. Give yourself and others a space of a few days or maybe even a week before making a hardline decision. Very important, Scorpio. Okay, so that's that full moon. Now, the other major thing that's happening is Mercury in Leo is stationing direct on the 11th. And Leo is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, authority figures, charities, volunteering, philanthropy, covers all that. And you've had some rumbling here back in November, December, and also March, April, as Mars was in Leo. Um, and the past couple of weeks too, there's been a stickling issue in regards to this, as um, you or authority figures are going back and forth regarding something, um, and you haven't gotten a straight answer, or you're withholding a straight answer, um, thought, idea, or agreement in regards to your 10th house. And yes, blame it to Mercury being retrograde. Now it is stationing and going direct. So now the answers will be forthcoming. However, it's still in its shadow. It will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. So even with any agreements um, or information that you're getting between now and the end of the month, still take it with a grain of salt, and have your still have backup plans, because it might still change during the shadow period. Uh, Other than that, pay attention to the 10th, 11th, and 12th, um, of any information regarding your 10th house, as when a planet stations, it's at its most powerful. So you glimpse, or you get an epiphany, or maybe even a dream. It reveals what this whole story is about, or how it will end, or how it will manifest. All right. So just noting that. Now, the most important day of the month, if not the year, is on the 12th. Ooh, set your calendars, set your alarm clock, your timer. Venus will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Woohoo! Venus, the powerful goddess of love, fortune, fame, money, attractiveness, and romance, is hugging Jupiter to death in the sign of Cancer, where Jupiter loves being. So this is a double, triple, quadruple beneficial aspect. Most certainly for Cancer and Gemini and Libra, but everyone will benefit from this conjunction. It is huge. And Cancer is your ninth house, Scorpio, of higher education, foreigners, foreign travel, publication, the World Wide Web, philosophy, uh, and all that good stuff. Uh, so, for many of you, it might be, excuse me, a degree that is received, or a position, a very powerful position, because of a completion of a higher education. For others, it can be the love of your life as a foreigner, and something here is cemented. Um, for others, it can be love that may have, maybe through an introduction from family, uh, because Cancer natally rules family. But something big here is happening regarding your, sorry, your ninth house of philosophy, foreigners, higher education. Family is playing out in the background. You might even be coming in of some money, or some fame or recognition. So look for the 12th for that. On the 16th, we do have a last quarter moon in Taurus. Uh, and the last quarter moon is the beginning of the end. And Taurus is your seventh house of partnerships. And it rules all kinds of partnerships, business, platonic, and intimate. Ooh, my cooler is on a temperature thing, and it went off and it startled me. uh, so this last quarter moon in Taurus in your relationship house, this is the beginning of the end. And it is not, for those, I don't want to scare anyone. It's not something that'll be a surprise. You have known about this ending or culmination, um, and this is hearkening to the fall, Scorpio, because Uranus has been in Taurus for the past 7 years. So you've gotten a doozy of surprises in your world being turned upside down from and through partners. But Uranus recently left Taurus and entered Gemini, where your partnership house started to calm down. But Uranus is going to retrograde in Gemini, and retrograde all the way back into Taurus in the fall for some unfinished business, which is of tying up loose ends, reconciliations, resolutions, completions, whatever it is. Um, and this last quarter moon is hearkening to that fall aspect of Uranus entering Taurus for the last time in our lifetimes. Well, yeah, I think, yeah. Um, well, for the older ones. So pay attention to whatever is being said, agreed, disagreed, or put on hold in regards to a partnership on the 16th. All right. The next important thing is on the 22nd, the sun will enter Virgo. And Virgo is your 11th house of groups, friends, associations, memberships of any kinds. It is also your hopes, visions, and dreams of the way you want to be seen amongst these people. So this is your annual review of how far you've gotten along the past year in your 11th house, and what you need to tweak and twist and turn or change. This is followed up the very next day with a new moon in Virgo. And this is a powerful new moon in Virgo, not because it's being badly aspected by any major sign, but it's because it is separating the old from the new. And Virgo rules the sixth house also of schedules, routines, habits, and rituals. And we're creatures of habit. So, excuse me. So the old, uh, which we will be revisiting in the fall to wrap up and put to rest, um, here is being highlighted as the old. And what we've experienced in the last 4 months of the new is being highlighted on how we should shape our our habits and routines with the new energies that will permanently come in next year, January, February. Again, Virgo rules the sixth house of health habits and routines. But for you, so that'll be playing out in the background. But for you, it's your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. So something new is going to come through uh, or from your friends, groups, associations, or a membership, or even your hope, your vision of your future is going to be ignited here on the 23rd. And new moons tend to culminate in 4 to 6 months, so sits perfectly with the end of the year where we're wrapping up old things. But new Virgo new moons tend to also reverberate for till next August. It'll reverberate for a full year almost, and sometimes even 7 to 10 years. So because again, it's about habits and routines. So pay attention to this new moon. If you see it in the sky, definitely make a wish with your whole heart about how you want your 11th house uh, to be and how it will manifest. Make a wish upon this new moon. And pay attention to what you're doing around this new moon because it will give you a clue um, about your 11th house. All right. Now, the other thing is on the 25th. Hooray! Venus will enter Leo for the next few weeks and will attract the money, love, fortune, and fame through your Leo related house, which is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. It will be blessing this house. Um, all the obstacles that you've had with authority figures or your career or regarding your status back in November, December, March, April, and the past couple of weeks, the disagreements and all that, Venus is coming in to the rescue. It will be blessing this house and smoothing over any ruffled feathers and um, manifesting money or even love here. So for depending on where you are in life, how old that you are, depending on your natal chart, you will see one of these aspects start to manifest for you for the next few weeks, or maybe a combination of that. So that's a nice ending to August and the summer, I think. And then next month, we will start preparing for the retrograde, going back to the past and wrapping things up. Uh, and eclipses. Eclipses are coming in hard and fast, but that's September. So that's about it for August, Scorpio. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And actually, I welcome and encourage you guys to comment or to leave a question, but comment more so because YouTube has this new thing with the algorithm that if you interact with the video through comments, it boosts my channel. So I would really appreciate that. Your help in that. That would be great if you found it entertaining and informative. All right, Scorpio, take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon. Well, hello, Sagittarius. Hi, Saggies. Oh, gosh, I missed you guys. I hope you missed me too. But yeah, as I said in the intro, I didn't do July's scope for each individual sign because I wanted to take like a mini break. And right after the 4th of July, that mini break, that week that I decided to have like, a mini vacation, I actually have been working nonstop and almost a lot of OT. I'm working on something, a project or two that will set me up, hopefully, to free me up to do more than just monthly horoscopes and getting them uploaded on time, actually, and doing more videos and introducing products for you guys. I'm really excited. But yeah, it needs a lot of support. And what I'm doing is just working really super hard to build that up so it can support me while I maybe hopefully in another month or two uh, uh, pay this channel the full attention it deserves and introduce new stuff. So cross your fingers for that for me. And yeah, let's discuss August. I'm only going to be discussing major aspects. There's only about 3 or 4, maybe 5 the most. Sorry, let me just do this. 1, 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, got it. So I will be only discussing a few major aspects, and then yeah, we'll hopefully another month or two I'll be doing a lot more videos where you'll be like, oh, stop with the videos, girl. Anyway, having said that, the first week of August is not really consequential. There's no major topsy-turvy aspects. On the 6th, we recently had Mars entering Libra, and Libra is your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, memberships of any kind. It is also your hopes, visions, and dreams of the future and how you want to be seen amongst these people. So you're going to get a lot of heat and action here if you have not already felt it. Uh, a lot of friends and groups are going to be tugging at you and pulling at you, and some might be even downright combative, so be careful. uh, but Mars rules fiery Aries, your fellow fire sign, and Libra is an air sign, very uplifting for you. So I don't see any major issues, uh, except for one I'll discuss in a minute. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of heat and action in regards to this. Now, yeah, the yuckiest day of the month is uh, is this is on the 8th. Mars in Libra will oppose Saturn in Aries. And also remember, don't get fixated on that specific day that it happens. It perfects on that day, but it can happen before or even after. But Mars in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries, and Aries is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. So this opposition is not a volatile, scary opposition like Mars versus Pluto. That's scary. This is more of a frustrating opposition because Mars is all about go, go, go. Let's get you what you want, Sagittarius, uh, in regards to your groups and friends. So it'll give you a lot of energy and drive, but it headbutts strict, very patient, very slow Saturn, who rules a methodical, slow Capricorn. And it is currently in Aries. So, um, for many of you, it can, well, for some of you, it's about your children or grown children. For others of you, it can be your lover or your romance. And Mars and Libra, there's this vision you have. And you are a very visionary person because you're ruled by hopelessly optimistic Jupiter. And you're called the luckiest sign of the zodiac because you are so optimistic, as in you can do anything and anybody can become anything, and it is that drive, that optimism, that faith that delivers. And it really can, if you set your mind to it, it can. But it's transferring that enthusiasm to others, and it's playing out here. That can frustrate you. um, so yeah, you're going to have this drive about a vision, a future, or about friends or groups, um, uh, and you want to go, go, go. But Saturn will be like, oh no, 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 wait, 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 hold up, slow down. We got to check this box and check that box and make this uh, thing work before we can entertain your optimism. Uh, and that's why it's going to be frustrating for you. And I'm with you. I'm with you, Sag. Um, because if it's this grown child or this romance and you want to steer it in the way where if you really have faith and optimism, it'll go far and you can see it. But they're stuck in with Saturn, who is slowing things down. And universe in its wisdom, it might be that these obstacles are testing uh, patterns for that. When you do go full force, something might come up where it might spoil plans. So Saturn is just building strong foundations in your Aries related house. So that's why it's slowing you down. Now, because it is fiery Mars and balancing Libra, the secret and the clue is in balance, in equilibrium. Um, Feeding your fire as well as testing your patience with Saturn. So think of it that way. And for others, if you guys don't go to the gym, if you go to the gym, hit the gym every day for the next few weeks while Mars is in Libra, it'll help you vent off that frustration of slowing down from Saturn. If you don't go to the gym or whatever, walk, 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 walk. It'll really, really help you because also Saturn in Aries rules the first house of appearance, so that's going to really help you too. So to relieve that pent up energy. Otherwise, it can result, any pent up energy, any restricted energy from Mars can manifest in headaches. Uh, uh, Sometimes, believe it or not, what is that? Where you like eat too much or too fast and heartburn. It can really manifest in like headaches or heartburn. So try to work it off somehow. All right. On the 9th, we do have a full moon in Aquarius. Uh, and Aquarius, of course, is your third house uh, of communication, commuting, siblings, cousins, extended family. social network, but a very close social network. It is about social media, um, and it is about language, your need to be heard. So there was a new moon in January, and you might have had a new opportunity uh, that you started, or you started working on trying to manifest a new opportunity in regards to your third house of communing and communication. And since January and until now, so with this full moon, this is either the culmination and fruition of your hard work that you're going to take full advantage of, or it might be an ending, cutting your losses and ending something here, because you don't want to put more effort and waste more time. Now, Pluto is still going to be in Aquarius, so we're still going to have activity in Aquarius. So it doesn't mean like ending entirely this project. It might just mean ending one part of it where it's not benefiting you. It's not coming to fruition for you, and starting a new um, part of that project. So it all depends again on your personal situation, on your age, on where you are in life, on what is really going on with Aquarius, your third house, and you. You can look to 16 degrees 59 minutes in your natal chart to see to give you another clue of where it might uh, affect you, and also listen to your rising sign and also your moon sign. The moon controls our emotions, and definitely emotions are all up in the mix when we make decisions. So listening to those two signs can again narrow it down to where this ending or culmination can be. For many of you, it can be a friend finally commits. Like you met this person through maybe a sibling or a cousin or extended family or your social network, and something ends where it flowers into something else. Uh, because your creativity in your fifth house is really lit up this year. Okay, don't forget that. Um, for others, it might be just a new car that you're like, yay, you get, or a new communication device, or your social media might be culminating in something. Uh, yeah, it can be a number of things. Just remember, a full moon conceals more than it reveals. So try not to make hardline, dramatic decisions on a full moon, uh, or the days thereabout. Give yourself and others a span of a few days, even a week, to have a clear, emotional free thought of it before you make hardline decisions. Okay, so that's the full moon. Now, the next important thing is on the 11th, Mercury will station direct in Leo. Excuse me, and of course, Leo is your ninth house of higher education, foreigners, foreign travels, publication, and the World Wide Web. So the last couple of weeks, you've been going back and forth over maybe one particular aspect of your ninth house or a combination thereof, where you haven't gotten a final decision, or something keeps changing. And that was because of Mercury retrograde. And it is also related to the events of maybe November and December, maybe March and April, as Mars was in Leo then. Um, and in the background, what's playing out with Leo is Leo natally rules the fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, and pets. It's the house of fun and light romance. So that's somehow playing out in the background. Well, been flip flopping here in regards to texting agreements, thoughts, and ideas, because Mercury rules that, on the 11th and forward, things start making sense. However, um, still have your backup plan, or take it with a grain of salt any agreements that come up after the 11th. Why? Because Mercury is still in its shadow. It will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. So, yeah, still have a backup plan, because decisions might yet again change, even though Mercury will go direct regarding your ninth house. Okay. All right. And the best day of the month, if not the year of 2025, comes on the 12th. Dum, da, da, dum. Venus, powerful, beautiful, seductive, money attracting, fortune, fame attracting Venus will hug Jupiter. Optimistic, your ruler, and looking out for you, optimistic and powerful Jupiter in the sign that it loves, nurturing, family oriented Cancer. Wow, this is huge. Huge for many people. Definitely for Cancer and Gemini. Gemini, it's their money house. Um, as well as Libra. Venus rules Libra, but everybody benefits, and you benefit a lot as well because one of these powerful actors is your ruler. And Jupiter, no matter in what sign he's in, he's always looking out for your best interests, Sagittarius. So this is very big, and very significant for you. Now, some of you already know what this is about, and you're just waiting. Some of you, it can be a magical surprise. So this is really nice. Um, Cancer, of course, for you is your eighth house of joint finances, the mortgage, intimacy, taxes, government benefits, uh, credits, loans, inheritance, the past, secrets, and taboo. Covers all those things. And of course, Cancer also rules the home and family and parents natally. So that will be playing out in the background. So you are going to be attracting either money, love, some kind of a fame, some fortune, uh, attractiveness through this eighth house. And family has a lot to do with it. Wow. So look out for that, Sagittarius, and look for 14 degrees in your natal chart as well. And remember, listen to your rising and your moon sign too to narrow it even further down. All right. So that's amazing. Then on the 16th, we do have a last quarter moon in Taurus. Um, and Taurus is your sixth house of health habits, routine, scheduling, and small animals, and taking care of someone. So this is the beginning of the end. Um, and this is significant because Uranus was in Taurus the last 7 years. So your scheduling and your routine kept changing on a dime. Like you became super, super busy and burnt the candle in both ends and then went down to snoozing, back and forth, back and forth. Well, that has settled since Uranus left Taurus and entered Gemini. But um, Uranus is going to retrograde in Gemini very shortly and retrograde all the way back into Taurus. So you're going to get another chance at your sixth house um, with wrapping things up, perfecting a routine or a schedule or what have you. So the last quarter moons, like I said, equate the beginning of the end. So there's an ending to a scheduling, a routine, a hectic thing about that, or taking care of someone. And this is actually important. Why I'm stressing this is because it's hearkening to the fall. This is giving you a clue to how Uranus will wrap up in Taurus in the fall. So pay attention to anything about your schedule and your routine, your habits, taking care of someone around the 15, 16, 17. Okay, Saji? On the 22nd, the sun will enter Virgo. That is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, authority figures, volunteering, and philanthropy. So it is your annual review of what you've done with it so far for the past year and how you want to tweak and change it. So the sun reveals this to you and others about your 10th house. Now, this is significant because the very next day we do have a very powerful new moon in Virgo, the 10th house. Not that it's being aspected like major bad by any planet, actually, but it is sort of drawing a line in the sand of the old and the new. It is in the middle of the year, and it is at the end of all these new energies that we've had since April. And now these planets are retrograding back into the old signs they were previously in for wrap up. So this new moon is sort of significant in that Virgo rules health, habits, and routines, and we're creatures of habit. And once we latch on a habit that works, we're creatures of habit. We will continue with them for a long time. So health and habit and routine is playing out in the background of your 10th house of career and status and authority figures. So whatever new opportunity you're getting here, or you're setting your intentions about a new way of doing things here, this will stick for a very long time to come. New moons usually manifest in 4 to 6 months, so that sits well with the end of December, um, where we wrap up with the old retrograding planets in the old signs and moving on to the new signs in January and February. But it usually Virgo new moons vibrate a whole year, so till next August. Um, and with this significance of it being the way it's timed here, um, between the old and the new, This will have the potential of reverberating a good amount of years to come, maybe 5 to 10, 7 to 10, who knows? But it's usually it's usually whatever you start on a new moon will be a new habit, new routine in regards to your 10th house for the next few years. All right, beating that horse. And then finally, the month ends beautifully and superbly with Venus entering Leo. Leo, again, is your ninth house of higher education, foreigners, traveling, uh, publishing, and the World Wide Web. And you will be attracting money, love, for other fortune and fame through your ninth house. Or your ninth house will start delivering um, things here. And again, remember, whatever problems and obstacles you had in November and December and March and April regarding your ninth house, uh, or whatever bridges that might have been burned, the 25th and forward for a few weeks, not just a day or two or a week, a few weeks, it's going to smooth all that over and bring the niceties of life. And I just want to mention to Sagittarius, I know many of you are, still on that distraught sort of train and like once bitten, twice shy. Uh, and no matter the amount of, like I'm saying, all this energy is going into fire signs and it's going to really motivate you. I know there's a lot of other aspects that are sort of holding you back or bringing you down or reminding you of the past and holding you back that way. And that's okay too. That's normal too, and that's fine because it makes you cautious to have the right foundation, uh, your spidey senses to be up, but don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it get you down. Uh, the past is coming up for review and tying up loose ends and reconciliations and resolutions. But that's what it is for the most part. You will not go back to what was. You are being catapulted in 2026 into these new energies, and it's all going to be good. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comments. I answer them, and actually, I'm encouraging you to leave comments because YouTube has this new thing that if you interact with a video in the comments, it really boosts my channel. So that would help me out a lot if you can leave just a small comment if you want, if you don't have a question, and I'd love to hear from you. And Sag, keep that beautiful Jupiter optimism up, not only for you but for everyone around you. Take care, Sagittarius. I'll talk to you soon. Hello, Capricorn. How are you? I'm sorry, I'm like crunching on an apple. Capricorn. Um, I miss you guys. Hope you missed me. Yeah, I took like that 4th of July weekend off, but I've been working double, triple, quadruple overtime. I'm trying working on this project or two, trying to set myself up so that I can hopefully maybe in a month or two be able to be supported where I can do this more than just a monthly horoscope. I bring you guys, other products and cool stuff to do and put out more videos. So excuse my absence, um, but yeah, wish me luck in that. Anyway, where this is August 2025 horoscope, and as I've mentioned before in the past, I will always have your monthly horoscopes uploaded at least by the first week of August, so still in time. Having said that, nothing major is happening in the first week of August. The only thing is Mars just entered a Libra, and Libra for you is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, authority figures. It's about volunteering and philanthropy and all that good stuff. So you're going to see a lot of heat action and urgency in these matters, either from them to you or you wanting to do this for some reason. But there's this fire that's going to be lit up in your 10th house of career and status, starting the 6th and for a few weeks. Um, the the only bad day of the month will be on the 8th or thereabouts. Remember, don't like just fixate on the day. That the day is when it that perfects, but you might feel it before or maybe even way later. So the 8th, Mars in Libra will oppose Saturn in Aries. Uh, so again, this heat and urgency that you've been having regarding your 10th house of career and status, or authority figures maybe have been putting some pressure on you of some kind, does oppose this this change that you've been having in regards to your home and family, uh, or whatever you're wishing, the desire you have for your home and family, or maybe even your parents are involved of some kind, or in the background. But this opposition is notable because it is one an opposition, and because it is between Mars, the god of war, and Saturn, a very powerful outer planet that demands patience, time, change, and foundation before any rewards are given. So this is not a volatile opposition, um, like Mars versus Pluto. That's volatile. This is more of a frustrating opposition, Capricorn, where, like I said, you have this heat and energy and drive uh, in your career sector, but Saturn in your home and family and your parents sector is telling you to slow down and fix your home and family first, uh, and surmount these obstacles before you move ahead in your career and status sector, which you might think is like um, counterproductive, as your career and status uh, will contribute to bettering your home and family. But your home and family is saying, well, you need the foundation first. So, it's one of those push pull things. Like I said, it's a frustrating opposition. And I'm just recommending to everybody, exercise. If you have, you go to the gym, that's great. It'll help you with this pent up energy. If you don't go to the gym or have walk, just try to walk off that energy, because uh, that pent up energy can manifest in headaches, uh, in just frustration. And you don't want that, because Mars is powerful, and Mars only has one thing in mind, and just one movement, forward movement, and let's go. And Saturn is a powerful outer planet, and will not allow any shortcuts. So yeah, try to walk off that frustration. On the ninth, there is a full moon in Aquarius. Um, Aquarius is your second house of job, income, and your value system. So there is either a fruition or culmination of your past efforts in regards to a job, income, or value system again. And this has to do with something that you started in November, maybe the end of November, but definitely the end of January, where we had a new moon in Aquarius. So there was a new opportunity, maybe a new job, maybe a new position, maybe a new, maybe maybe it was the same job but a new added responsibility. But something about your job and income. There was something that started at the end of January with a new moon in Aquarius. And on the ninth, there is a full moon in Aquarius. It is the culmination of that new moon. So again, it's either a culmination or a fruition of what you've been working on. Um, for others, it could be a complete ending uh, of cutting your losses and moving on to something else, because it's just in the past 4 to 6 months, it's just has not been working. Um, and and I don't want anybody to be scared. It's not something that will come out of the blue. You will have known if there's an ending. You will have known that this ending is coming, and it is probably projected by you more so than by anybody else. Otherwise, it could be just moving to a new job or a new position. But it has something to do with what's going on with Mars and Libra in your 10th house and your family matter. There's something going on here. Um, in any case, full moons conceal more than they reveal, Capricorn. So try not to make any hard line, life altering decisions on a full moon or thereabouts. Give yourself and others a space of a few days, even a week, if you can, before you make final decisions, when emotions are out of the picture, because moons rule our emotions. Um, yeah. So moving on with that, on the 11th, Mercury in Leo will station direct at 14 degrees. And again, Leo is your, well, not again, I haven't mentioned it yet. Leo is your eighth house of joint finances, uh, the mortgage, intimacy, taxes, government benefits, credits, loans, banks, accounts, inheritances, the past, secrets, taboos, and that. So the last couple of weeks, there has not really been a straightforward answer, idea, or agreement regarding these with someone or someone else. Uh, Leo also natally rules the fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, and gambling. So that is playing out in the background for you. But there, there's something that's going back and forth. regarding your Leo related house that you haven't really, there needs to be a clear cut answer. And starting the 11th, Mercury will finally station direct and start moving forward. And Mercury moves pretty fast. So, answers are coming. However, uh, take those answers and agreements with a grain of salt, or still have your backup plans, because Mercury will still be in shadow. It will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. So, yeah, it might change. Even if you come to an agreement after the 11th, it might change yet again before it clears its shadow. So just be aware of that. Also, pay attention to the 10th, 11th, and 12th in regards to any communication regarding your eighth house of joint finances. Because whenever a planet stations, it's at its most powerful, and it gives you an epiphany or a vision of what this is really about. It gives you the full picture, or a clue of how it'll end, or whatever. So, yeah, pay attention to any communications regarding your eighth house. And then the best day of the month, if not the year, is on the 12th. Venus will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Wow, this is huge for you, Capricorn. This is huge. Cancer is basically, it's your seventh house of partnerships, business, platonic, and intimate. Um, Jupiter loves being in Cancer, and Venus attracts love, money, fortune, and fame, and it's hugging Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. You are going to get something huge in regards to a partnership. Something is going to be blessed. Uh, Very, very nice. Something huge and big and blessed and powerful. A very powerful partnership. And it may be more than one partnership, but everybody's going to benefit from this. And you of most too, because it's your partnership house. You might be getting money through a partnership. Also, Cancer rules home and family and parents. So that is playing out in the background for you, Capricorn, in regards to this powerful partnership thing. Some of you can be getting married on this day, or around this day, or making the decision to tie the knot. But very, very big deal in regards to your partnerships. Um, for those very small sliver of you, um, it might manifest negatively, again, depending on your natal chart. If there's any affliction, or if you're having partnership problems already. And I'm talking about serious partnership problems, not just, whatever. Um, because Jupiter expands. If there's love, it'll expand it. If there's problems, it'll also expand it, because it doesn't want a future um, relationship, partnership that'll end on bad terms. So it'll expand the problems front and center. And Venus being involved is also looking out for stability in the long run of love and what have you, and commitments. So a very rare sliver of you might encounter this negatively. All right, moving on. We do have a last quarter moon in Taurus. Taurus is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, um, and pets, and gambling is also here. Capricorn, this is a last quarter moon signifies the beginning of the end. So for some of you who have been having um, problems with a romance, or maybe a child, or creative project, uh, you might have been feeling that drift. Uh, and this is hearkening the beginning of the end. And this is significant as well. It's not like any other uh, ordinary last quarter moon. It's because Uranus just left Taurus and entered Gemini, and it will soon retrograde. Uranus will retrograde in Gemini, but it'll retrograde all the way back into Taurus uh, for some unfinished business, to wrap up some unfinished business, maybe reconciliations, maybe resolutions, maybe tying up loose ends, or what have you. Um, and then finally moving on into Gemini for good. But this last quarter moon is hearkening um, to Uranus going back in Taurus and finishing up some last business to be, tied up. So pay attention to these few dates here in regards to your fifth house of love, romance, children, or creativity, or a creative project, or maybe even about a pet. Okay, copy? Uh, the next significant thing that I want to talk about is on the 22nd, the sun enters Virgo. And Virgo is your ninth house of foreigners, higher education, uh, foreign lands, traveling to foreign lands, long distance travel, publishing, and the World Wide Web. So, this is your annual review of all these things and how far you've come this past year and what you want to change, tweak for the next year ahead. But on the very next day, we have a powerful new moon in Virgo. So, a new opportunity or setting your sights or vision or hope on something new in regards to your love, romance, children, your fifth house, basically. And this is a powerful new moon and a significant one this year because it is coming in the middle of the year and it is separating the old from the new. We've had all these new energies since April, and now in September next month, all these planets will start retrograding back into the old previous signs. So it's a line marker in the sand. And Virgo natally rules the sixth house of um, health, habits, routines, scheduling, any kind of rituals. Um, Brushing your teeth is a ritual. Small animals, small pets, and taking care of someone. That's playing out in the background. Uh, and we are creatures of habit. So the old is going out, and we've experienced the new, and we are going to be setting this new schedule, habit, routine, and in your case, it's about love and romance. So, since we are creatures of habit and the old has died, this new moon signifies not only the culmination of it in 4 to 6 months, which is at the end of the year, sorry, but it'll reverberate till next August. It's a full year thing, but also it'll reverberate for a few more years to come, maybe even 5, 7 to 10 years, whatever you're starting new here, because as creatures of habit, we are shedding those old habits with the old signs and starting these new habits and routines and rituals, and they will stick with us for this new venture. All right, so whenever you see that new moon up in the sky, Capricorn, pay attention, clasp your hands together, and make a strong wish regarding your fifth house, because it's a powerful new moon. And the month ends with the last major aspect I want to talk about, which is Venus entering Leo. Yay! Again, Leo is your eighth house of joint finances, um, government taxes, banks, etc., etc. Um, so, whatever problems or issues or obstacles you've encountered thus far in regards to this eighth house of intimacy, Venus is coming in to mend those fences, smooth over any ruffled feathers, and start attracting money, love, fortune, and fame in these regards. Um, Again, many of you, this can signify um, a partnership that is solidifying somehow, uh, joining finances somehow. Um, and Venus will be in Leo for the next few weeks. So embrace those opportunities that attracts all those good stuff to your eighth house. That's how the month ends, Leo, or I'm sorry, Capricorn. Um, and if you have any questions or comments, and I not only welcome you to comment, but encourage you to, because YouTube has this new thing where if you interact with the video with leaving just a brief comment, it really boosts my channel, and that would help me out a lot as well. So not just liking and subscribing. So I encourage you to leave a small comment, just even hi. Other than that, if you do have questions, I do answer them. Please leave them in the comments, and I will speak to you soon in September. Take care of yourselves, guys, if I don't talk to you before then. Hello, Aquarius. I hope you're doing well. Um, this is your August scope, 2025 scope. Um, I did take July off just for that first week of the 4th of July, but I've been working double overtime. I'm working on a project. I'm trying to set up something where I can be supported to maybe another month or two, to be able to do more than just monthly horoscopes for you guys. I want to expand it further, more videos, and offer you products actually. So wish me luck in that aspect, um, and excuse my absence and the late uploads. I apologize, but like I've said before, I'll always have your monthly horoscopes uploaded by the first week of the month. Having said that, nothing really major is going on this first week of August, except we did have Mars just enter Libra on the 6th. Excuse me. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry about that. I was thinking about something. Okay, I thought I made a mistake, but I didn't. I'm okay. Yes, Mars just entered Libra, which is your ninth house of higher education, foreigners, long distance traveling, publication, the World Wide Web, philosophy, and all that. Uh, and there's going to be a lot of heat and urgency. It probably have already started lighting something up in regards to your ninth house. Um, for many of you, it's about a love interest or a partnership. And again, a partnership might be intimate or platonic, or maybe even business, uh, who may be a foreigner or maybe at a distance from you. Yeah, many of you or some of you, that's what's going on. And it's come about almost like surprises or spurts or anyway, whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of heat and action in regards to your ninth house. Um, the most difficult day of this month, and it's not really that difficult, uh, but is Mars in Libra will oppose Saturn in Aries. Excuse me. And Aries is your third house of communication, commuting, siblings, cousins, extended family, neighbors, the neighborhood, social network, but a very like close knit social network, social media, language. It is your house of your need to be heard. Um, so that's where Saturn has been planted the last few months for you, and it is something about an image is playing out in the background. So this opposition, it's an opposition, and oppositions are hard aspects, of course. Um, there's two opposing viewpoints on either end of the spectrum. But what makes it more significant is because it's Mars, the god of war here, uh, who's agitating things. And Saturn is a very powerful outer planet that uh, demands a foundation and rules to be followed and patience and time. So this opposition, I'm describing it more as a frustration rather than a volatile opposition, like the ones we've had with Mars in Leo and Pluto in your sign. Those were pretty tough, volatile oppositions. This is more of a frustrating opposition because Mars wants to go, 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 and let's get you what you want. And Saturn is like, no, 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 slow down, slow down. You need to surmount this obstacle and that obstacle. So if you do have a gym membership, that's great. If you don't, try walking off this pent up energy because it can manifest in like headaches and some type of nausea or whatever. Because Mars does give a lot of energy off and wants to get things done. And that's the purpose of Mars coming into a sign and in that particular house. So yeah, good luck with that. Now, on the ninth, we do have a full moon in your sign, Aquarius. And basically, in your sign, it's your first house. It's about your image. It's about your profile. It's about your physical appearance and how people see you. So something about your image started changing and being put out front and center starting at the end of November, but more so towards the end of January when we had a new moon in your sign. Uh, Here, this full moon in your sign is the culmination of that new opportunity that you wore um, um, or took on uh, or worked in earnest to manifest about your image, about the way you appear. So this is either the fruition or culmination of it, or it might be the ending, like cutting your losses and quitting what you've been so far doing because it's not working, and you're going to try another avenue. Um, so that's what this full moon is about. Um, and it does hinge on the way your hopes and visions of how you want to be seen amongst people, because you do rule the 11th house of groups and friends. A full moon conceals more than it reveals, Aquarius. So try to hold off any life altering permanent decisions on a full moon, especially since the moon um, rules our emotions, and our emotions are hidden, and decisions are made based off of emotion. So give yourself, a few days, if not, if you can hold off for another week before making any life altering decisions. Um, Give yourself another space and time to make those final decisions, if there is a final decision to be made of what I'm saying. All right, the next thing is on the 11th, Mercury in your partnership house, Leo, will station direct. So since November, there's been a lot going on with you and partners, Aquarius. Some good, some uplifting, some headbutts, some frustrating, some endings. A lot has been going on with your partnerships. Um, some coming together, really, good, bad, and the ugly. Um, and especially in November and December, and then March and April, with Mars being in Leo and Pluto in your sign and butting heads. And also the last couple of weeks, there has been um, like a flip flopping, run around discussion idea, or trying to solidify some kind of an agreement in regards to a partnership. And it's just been going back and forth, back and forth. And you haven't been given a straight answer, or always being told to wait, or you are the one who is not giving a straight answer or would like more time. So on the 11th, Mercury will station direct in Leo, and it'll start moving forward in Leo. So you'll be getting these final answers and no flip flopping. However, um, still take it with a grain of salt, or have your backup plans, because Mercury is still in shadow, even though it's going direct. It will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. Okay, so keep that in mind. But pay attention to the 10th, 11th, 12th in regards to any communications with a partner, because whenever a planet stations, it is immensely powerful, even with little old Pluto, prankster Pluto, because you do get some kind of epiphany or a vision or a dream of what it's really about or what is being hidden. Many people find lost objects on stationing Mercury direct or retrograde. So yeah, pay attention to those few days. Now, the best day of the month, if not the year, that everybody's been waiting for, all the astrologers are talking about, is the 12th. Venus um, will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Wow. And hallelujah. Um, this is quite significant. Um, and it is your sixth house of health, habits, routine, scheduling, any kind of rituals. Um, Brushing your teeth can be a ritual. Um, uh, Small pets, animals, and also taking care of someone. The sixth house is the house of chaos and gossip as well. But Cancer also rules natally the fourth house of home, family, parents, um, patriotism, and all that. So that's somehow playing out in the background in regards to your health habits and routines and scheduling. So everyone is to benefit from this, because Jupiter loves being in Cancer, and Venus is unencumbered, going direct, and is a very powerful planet. And it attracts money, the niceties of life, diplomacy, fortune, fame, and all of that. So something about your routine, your scheduling, your health, your habits, maybe small animals, or taking care of someone, you're going to be attracting um, good things here, or this day you're going to be made aware of. I wouldn't even contemplate to think of the different scenarios, but and you might have been working overtime, and now with no taxes on tips on overtime, you might be getting a huge check for all the schedules and routines you picked up from your coworkers. That's one manifestation of it. It could be one, but it could be about an inheritance from family, or of taking care of someone, or you might be running a shelter of some kind, maybe small animals. I don't know, but in any case, on the 12th, expect something really nice and beneficial regarding your health habits and routine. Um, so look for that. Now, we do have, let me just think. Uh, Sorry, no, give me 1 second, Aquarius. Oh, so sorry. And, I just want to make sure I'm not making a mistake. So I forgot to do this, and I'm doing it now. And I always seem to do it like, shame on me, the last minute. Sorry about that, Aquarius. Okay, last quarter moon in Taurus. All right, so Taurus is your fourth house of home, family, your parents, your country, your clan, your patriotism. It is a very emotionally rooted, important house for everyone. Uh, Excuse me. So this last quarter moon signifies the beginning of the end, Aquarius, and uh, and you already know, and it might not be as dramatic as I'm making it. It might be just a renovation that's coming to a close, or it might be a family gathering that's being held then. and you won't see each other for another few years, whatever it is. But it is the beginning of the end, and it's not something as a surprise. You're already aware of what this is about. And again, it might be something, mundane. But the significance of this and why I'm mentioning it as a major aspect is because Uranus has been in Taurus for the past 7 years. And your home and family has gone topsy turvy in the last 7 years. And most recently, Uranus left Taurus, stabilizing your home and family, and has entered Gemini. Well, very shortly, Uranus will start retrograding in Gemini, but it'll retrograde all the way back into Taurus as well in the fall, in October, I believe. So this last quarter moon is also hearkening to the events of the fall, of when Uranus goes back in Taurus for whatever unfinished business it has there. And in regards to you, it's about your home and family and your parents. So pay attention to this last quarter moon, because it is giving you a clue about what the wrap up is when Uranus retrogrades back in Taurus in the fall. So I wanted to mention that. Okay, the next major aspect is on the 22nd, when the sun enters Virgo. And for you, Virgo is your eighth house of joint finances, the mortgage, intimacy, taxes, government benefits, banks, credits, loans, inheritances, secrets, the past, taboo subjects, um, a rebirth of some kind. That's what the eighth house encompasses. Virgo also natally rules the sixth house of health habits, routines, and taking care of someone. So that is playing out in the background somehow. In any case, Sun entering Virgo on the 22nd is your normal annual review of your eighth house, of how it's been doing the past year and what you want to tweak and change here going forward. But this is also followed up by the very next day with a powerful new moon in Virgo. So there's going to be a new opportunity, or you're going to start working on a new opportunity in regards to your eighth house. And this is significant in as far as, this will manifest 4 to 6 months down the line. It'll culminate then, but it'll reverberate till next August. Um, Not only will it do that, but this new moon in Virgo is happening during the middle of the year, where it's drawing a line in the sand between the old and the new. We've been experiencing these new energies since April through up till now, and then September, all the planets will have retrograded um, back, and then in the fall, they'll be retrograding back in the old signs for wrap up business. So this new moon is separating these two events, and because Virgo rules health habits, routines, and scheduling and all that. Uh, it is highlighting the old habits, routines, and schedules will not work anymore. New routines, schedules, and habits will have to be implemented, and they have been. We've been experiencing them since March, April, uh, or maybe more April, May, June, July, and this month. And since we are creatures of habit, uh, this new moon with these new habits we'll start adopting, they will stick for many more years to come. So not only in 6 months time will this new moon manifest, culminate, and even till next year, next August, but we're looking at 5 to maybe even 10 years in the future. uh, that's why this new moon is significant. Whatever you're starting new here and perfecting in the next 4 to 6 months, pay attention in regards to your eighth house. Pay attention, because it'll solidify and carry you through for a long time to come. I hope I didn't confuse you. If I did, just tell me you confused me, and I'll explain it in the comments more. So, yeah, that's why the significance I feel of this new moon. Now, on the 25th, Venus, the planet of love, money, attraction, fame, seduction, and all that good stuff, diplomacy, will enter your partnership house, Aquarius, Leo. So, um, for those of you who have had a volatile, um, upsetting, air quotes, negative partnership, whether it be business, platonic, intimate, whatever, um, since Pluto entered your sign back in November, December, and like I mentioned, March and April with the oppositions between you and Leo. And now Venus entering Leo for the next few weeks we'll start mending those fences. We'll start smoothing over those hurt feelings. I love saying that word. uh, for those partnerships that are meant to be salvaged. Not talking about the ones that, the separation is, and the ideals are so vast that you know no matter Venus or whoever, nothing will mend it back to what it was. But for those that want to make it work, that is salvageable, Venus will start working its magic for the next few weeks, and thus again playing well into with these retrograding planets, going back into old signs for reconciliation, resolution, or tying up of loose ends for uh, endings, and being on good terms with that. So yeah, it's a good thing. The month ends on a good note with Venus entering your partnership line. For those of you who are single, you are definitely going to get serious contenders for a few weeks starting the 25th. So keep your eyes on that. For those of you who are in a budding romance and relationship, starting the 25th and forward, you will be going into next steps, next phases of your partnership, and setting down dates, and making some serious decisions with partnerships. So all is good, Aquarius. All is good. If you have any questions, I not only I welcome your questions, but I also encourage any comments, even like a hi, because YouTube has started this new thing where if not only if you like the video, but if you interact with it in the comments, it really boosts uh, my algorithm for the video. So that would help me out a lot. If you found this informative or entertaining, that would help me out a lot. Okay, Aquarius. Hope I entertained you, if not informed you, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Hello, Pisces. Long time no talk. Um, yes, I as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I did take the 4th of July as a mini vacation. That's why I didn't do the full scope for July. But actually, it was right after I started working double overtime. I've been working on something really important, on a project and something to the side. So I'm trying to set up something where hopefully maybe in a month or two, I'll be able to do more with this channel than just a monthly scope. A lot more videos, but also I'm going to give you guys some products, and a lot of things. But I need support, and I'm building this up right now, where in a month or two I'll be able to be supported, and then so that I can give this its full attention. So wish me luck. Cross your fingers. All right. So yeah, sorry for not being so active, and also for the late upload. But as I've mentioned before, I will always have your monthly scope uploaded by at least the first week of the month, end of the first week of the month. Okay. Having said that, there's not really much that's going on in the first week, in this first week of August. The only thing is Mars has just entered Libra, uh, and Libra for you is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, the mortgage, banks, credits, loans, government benefits, taxes, inheritances, the past, taboo subjects, secrets, and rebirth of some kind. So that's all in the eighth house. And Libra natally rules all kinds of partnerships: business, platonic, intimate, personal, blah, blah, blah. So you're going to have a lot of heat and urgency that'll be lit up under you in regards to your eighth house or matters of the eighth house that I listed all. Um, that urgency will be coming at you, like to get things done. So there's going to be this heat, this urgency, this let's go, let's get it done, and you're going to get this energy and fire to do this. So that's great, and that's going to go on for a few weeks. Now the worst day of this month is, in my opinion, and the major, because I'm only going to cover major aspects, only really major aspect that I see is that Mars in Libra will oppose Saturn in Aries. It happens on the 8th, but again, it perfects on the 8th. So it might have already happened to you, or it might happen after the 8th. So don't get fixated on the date. Just listen to what it means, and you'll relate. Excuse me, sorry about that. So an opposition is a hard aspect. It's two opposing viewpoints, and they're adamant about this. And we have it with Mars, the god of war, in your eighth house, that wants to do something and get something done in your eighth house, but will be opposed by Saturn in Aries. And Aries is your second house of job, income, and your value system. Uh, so, first, Saturn has recently entered Aries. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So, it's more so of, it's about the image it represents. Um, for you, it is your job, your income, and your value system. But there's a consideration in the background about the image your job portrays about you, or your values, how you want your values to be portrayed, and so on and so forth. Now, there's a friction here. There's an opposition here with Mars in Libra in your eighth house or joint finances, and Saturn in Aries trying to build a strong foundation through time and patience in your second house of job and income. So right away you can see the dichotomy. Mars is let's go, 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 now, 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 or never. Saturn is like, oh, wait, wait, wait. Patience is a virtue. It rules slow and methodical Capricorn, and so on. So this kind of opposition, I'm describing it as a frustrating opposition of people not coming on board. You could be feeling this frustrating opposition, or others can be, uh, or it could be both. Um, but it's not a volatile opposition like we had with Mars being in Leo and Pluto in Capricorn. That was some heavy duty shit. Sorry, I don't really swear, but that was some heavy duty stuff. This is more of a frustration of not being able to get things done on time because of obstacles that need to be surmounted uh, and proven and whatever. Because Saturn will not let anyone, you or anyone, cut any corners. Rules have to be followed, no matter what. And Mars wants to leapfrog, because it wants to get things done for you. So for those of you who don't exercise or have a membership, gym membership, please incorporate some kind of walking routine while the weather is still nice. It's not winter, because it's pent up energy, and pent up energy with no outlet can manifest to, God forbid, health things like headaches, insomnia, a lot of things. So try to walk it off, because there's no getting around Saturn. Um, Saturn is quite powerful. It's an outer planet. And Mars just will not go backwards. It needs to go forward. So there, that's the that's what's happening with Mars versus Saturn. It's like that hurry up and wait um, scenario. And for Pisces, it can be frustrating because yeah, you guys, some of you will have like your own time, like let's get this done. I have this wonderful Pisces friend. She never has the concept of when I tell her, all right, you need to tell me like 2 3 days in advance when you need me to do things. She can't understand that. She's like, well, it doesn't matter, let's just do it. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, I'm laughing with you guys. All right, on the ninth, full moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius is your 12th hidden house. It is the house of the past, of secrets, of behind the scenes, of working on things, um, not necessarily in secret, but not yet ready to reveal them. It's about spirituality. It's about faith and hope. It's about creativity. It's the house about taking care of someone. It's about confining institutions and places. Uh, and you rule the 12th house, Pisces. So you're pretty familiar with alone time, and dreaming, and Aquarius is the genius of the zodiac, so it's your psyche. You do have a genius psyche. You can pick up things really super fast. Now, um, starting last November, but more specifically end of January, something new, um, you either started a new project, or you started working on trying to manifest a new opportunity in regards to your 12th hidden house. And this full moon is the culmination of those efforts. So it's either the culmination and fruition of what you've been working on behind the scenes, or about your 12th house since January, um, or it could be just a complete ending, something like cutting your losses, and it's just fruitless to waste more time on and um, moving forward, and cutting that tie. Uh, it's it's either or. It's for some of you with what's going on, because you have, for some of you older Pisceans, if you have older children, there's a bit of that going on. Bit of like There's no matter what I can say or do, they're going to do what they're going to do. Something like that. For some of you. For others, it can mean other things. All right. So that is that. The next major thing is on the 11th. Mercury in Leo will station direct. Uh, Again, Leo is your sixth house, or maybe not again. I haven't mentioned it yet. Leo is your sixth house of health, habits, routines, scheduling, any kind of ritual. So, setting the dishwasher every night at 9 p.m. is a ritual. Brushing your teeth is a ritual. The sixth house also rules small animals or pets and taking care of someone. The sixth house is lovingly called the house of chaos and gossip. Getting that all balanced. Leo also natally rules the fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. Uh, so there's been problems here, starting back in November, December, and March and April of this year, and most recently, the last couple of weeks. There's been back and forth and oppositions and agreements and then disagreements, and most recently, like I said, communication has not been forthcoming. If it has to do with a romance or a lover, or if it is about your own children, there's something going on here that you've been dealing with. Um, but on the 11th, Mercury will station direct in Leo, and you're going to get the answers that have misled you, or if you haven't gotten the complete answers. Or it might have been you that might have been holding out on telling the full story because you needed more information, or you needed the permission to, say it like it is. Maybe in confidence, you promise not to say something. Whatever it is, answers are coming, communication is coming, and the truth is coming. However, still take it with a grain of salt if any agreements are agreed upon, or any things have been said, or any things that will be said, as and still have backup plans, because sorry, Mercury is still in shadow, even though it's going direct, but it will not clear its shadow until the end of the month. So yeah, just have those backup plans, because things may change again, be tweaked again. Communication, might be tweaked again before the end of the month. All right. Now, the best day of the year, as I'm saying to all, of the month, if not the year. This is huge. Venus will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. This is huge, Pisces, and especially for you. Cancer is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. Cancer also natally rules the fourth house of home, family, parents, your country, your patriotism, your clan. And Jupiter loves being in Cancer. Everyone will benefit with this conjunction, and for you, it falls smack in your fifth house, and there's something about family going on. If you are single, you will be meeting someone, and maybe through family. That'll be huge in your life. If you are with someone, you will be taking this to the next level. Uh, if you're already married, um, this might be about a pregnancy, an announcement. If you have children, it may be your children are getting married, or announcing a birth, or announcing a creative project that's um, super duper beneficial for you and the whole family. But this is huge. Check your natal chart for 14 degrees. Also, listen to your rising and your moon sign. Very important to narrow it down to see exactly how this will manifest. In the rare instance that this is negative, very rare instance, a thin sliver of you, um, that will be reflected in your natal chart. If you have anything in your natal chart that is afflicted, or at 14 degrees, again, like I said, you can narrow it down and see where else it might be hitting. Uh, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, yes, and it's usually a benefic planet, but it can expand something negative as well. So if something is not good for you in the future, Jupiter will expand it so that you don't get to that future point of pain, so that it can cut it off in the beginning. And Venus is a serious planet, and it has to do, it rules Libra, Libra rules all kinds of partnerships. So for a very, very tiny sliver of you, it might be negative. And it won't be a surprise. You've had problems here. And the 12th with this conjunction, it will be made more aware of. Okay. But for many of you, this is amazing. Okay. Now, we do have a last quarter moon in Taurus, and Taurus is your third house of communication, commuting, communication devices, siblings, cousins, extended family, a very close knit social network, neighbors, the neighborhood, social media, and language. It's your need to be heard. That's what the third house is. Taurus also natally rules the second house of money, job, and income. So that is somehow playing out in the background. Now, a last quarter moon signifies the beginning of the end, Pisces. And it's not a surprise. It's something that's coming to a natural culmination, an ending. And this is significant because Uranus was in Taurus for the past 7 years. It recently just changed signs into Gemini. Um, and you've had your topsy turvy, surprising moments in your third house. But that has like calmed down, settled down since Uranus left Taurus. And now it's in Gemini. But Uranus will start retrograding in Gemini very soon, I believe in September. But it'll retrograde all the way back into Taurus as well, because there's unfinished business here. There's something to be wrapped up, reconciled, resolved, or ended completely, which Uranus reaches Taurus in October, I believe. So this last quarter moon in Taurus, this the beginning of the end in Taurus here on the 16th, is hearkening to October, to the fall, when Uranus will come back into Taurus to tie things up and release. So pay attention to whatever it is. It gives you a clue for the fall. All right. That's what I wanted to say. Now, this other thing that's coming in is very important to you, Pisces, because on the 22nd, the sun will enter Virgo. Virgo is your partnership house. All kinds of partnerships, personal, business, intimate, platonic, and it is the house of open enemies. And this is your, normal annual review of what you've been doing right or wrong the past year. And moving forward, you're going to be tweaking and changing things here. Now, the very next day, we have a powerful new moon in Virgo, in your partnership house. And this is significant on three different levels. One, it is either a new opportunity that you will be getting in as far as partnerships, or you will be really setting your mind on something new about a partnership. Um, this new moon will manifest in 4 to 6 months down the line, where it will culminate, come to fruition, or end somehow in 4 to 6 months, whatever you start here. Um, but it usually will also reverberate to next a full year down the line, so next August. The other thing is this new moon is happening in the middle of the year and between the very new energies that we've experienced since April, May through to now, where these planets are going to start retrograding back into these new signs and all the way back to the old signs. So this new moon in Virgo is important in another aspect where it's drawing a clear line in the sand between the old and the new. And Virgo, yes, for you is your seventh house of partnerships, but it is also, Virgo also rules the sixth house of health habits, routines and rituals, and scheduling and all that. So what I'm trying to say is because it's falling between these two energies of the old and the new, and in the middle of the year, we are letting go of our old habits and routines and starting these new habits and routines. So you want to pay attention and be conscious of the habits and routines you're going to be adopting from the 23rd and on about partnerships, because we are creatures of habit, and whatever routine and habit that we start, taking on will last for a very long time, and especially with these new energies coming in full throttle next year, January, February, and lasting for 3 to 7 to 10 to 18 years. This new moon in Virgo is powerful, and as that, it'll set a new habit, a new way of dealing with partners for maybe up to the next 20 years, 5 to 20 years, whatever it is. But that's one thing that I wanted to hopefully have made clear and specified. It's just Virgo new moons are very, very powerful, especially in certain circumstances. And I wanted to highlight this circumstance. Hope I made that clear. If you're confused, um, throw your question in the comments. I answer all questions. And then the next most important and last major aspect of August is on the 25th. Venus will enter Leo. Um, and again, Leo is your sixth house of health, habits, and routines, but Leo rules the fifth house natally. So something about love, romance, or children is playing out in the background. But Venus coming into Leo, and whatever problems, disagreements, friction you've had in November, December, March, April, in regards to your schedule, your routine turning on a dime, or something about your health. And again, if anything in the background is playing about love, romance, or maybe your own children, grown children, or about animals or pets, maybe even gambling. Venus coming in here will start mending these fences, and magically repairing the burnt bridges, uh, and bringing diplomacy, love, affection, money, all to this area of your life. Now, for those things that are unmendable, that will not return to what they are, it is what it is. But for those that can be salvaged, Venus for the next few weeks will definitely do that. So that's a good way of ending the month. And again, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. And I actually encourage you to just leave a small comment, because YouTube is like, if you interact with videos, you get the algorithm boosts your channel for some reason. So I'd appreciate that help. Other than that, yes, I answer all questions. And I'll talk to you soon. You take care of yourself, Pisces. Take care.